Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 151. We have some stuff to go over here today. RGT is not here. I believe he is actually at some sort of party or something, watching boxing match or fight or something. He's not actually around, and Max Dreamcast guy is at D&D night, so he won't be around either. And I don't know what Jordan's somewhere. Someone go find Jordan. Go bug Jordan. Last we saw, apparently he posted him buying a shopping cart full of red velvet Oreos. So somebody go find Jordan.
Free Jordan.
But we do have quite a few people here to talk about some of the stuff that happened this past week. And our guest tonight is actually Abaddon. What's going on, man?
What's going on, y'all? Thanks for having me on.
Good to have you with us tonight, man. And what's going on over your channel? What's going on over there, man? Let the good people know what's going on over there.
Well, I'm doing a bit of a rebrand. The channel right now is mainly just the Chillcast episodes, which is me just, and the rest of the Chillcast, we're talking about video games. But the other channel is Beats for Breakfast, where I get to interview other YouTube content creators and just other people in general, whether it's about music, gaming, or business. So that is the focus of the second channel as well.
Cool. Very nice, man. Good to have you with us tonight. Good to have you with us. Let's see. Do we take the chance and see if Nate's
still muted?
Nate's actually there.
Still muted.
It's still muted. Let's see what happens. And then we have Nate, Direct Feed Games. Nate the Hate. How you doing tonight, Nate?
Yeah.
Good to have you here, Nate. MVG, what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Great to be here.
Good to have you with us. Miss Click. Rearrange in the room, doing all kinds of stuff over there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm playing Happy Home Designer.
Good to have you here. OJ, what's up, man?
Doing good. Fresh off the Twitter ban. Let's go. Fresh off the YouTube ban. Apparently, I like getting banned.
You spicy.
Apparently, getting banned is fun, huh?
Oh man,
let's do this tonight.
That was trending recently.
You're a patriot.
How did this happen?
Look. Somebody's got to start the revolution.
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. It might as well be me.
Where's that headband?
Oh man. Oh gosh. So what's everyone been up to this week? What has everyone been playing? Let's talk some video games before we talk about. Actually, I have quite a few topics put down here, but let's go over what everyone's been playing first before we do that.
I've been playing a little game, little indie game. I think Nate played it last week. I started playing it this week. I did a video on it. 3000 Duel.
Yeah, Nate won't stop talking about that game.
It's good. I may get it. Yeah, it's a little indie game. It's good. It's like a Metroidvania / Dark Souls type of game. Has the same mechanic, whereas if you die, you have to go back, but your souls or your karma try to attack you, so you have to kill it again, and then you get them. But it's actually really good. There's no like guide in terms of where you go. It's just drops you there. Very minimal story. They tell the story through just little memory fragments or pieces, and you just go through just like a Castlevania game. You get new upgrades, get abilities. The combat is nice and fluid, runs good on the Nintendo Switch. But I think one of the coolest things about this game, and I talked about it in my video, is that the game, like at first you think it's kind of weird because you have these oversized weapons, right? They're just like these massive weapons that you carry, like way bigger than yourself. But it actually plays into the gameplay because it makes the hitboxes not wonky. You ever played a Castlevania clone type of game and like you try to hit something and like sometimes the weapon is just so thin compared to like the hitboxes, and like the hitboxes are just wonky sometimes in Castlevania clones or Metroidvania games. And this one, it gets rid of that because you just have these huge hitboxes, but the game can still be punishing, like with traps and with spikes coming out of the walls and all sorts of stuff, and tough bosses. So it's a really good game, really good. It's on the eShop right now. You can pick it up, or it's on Steam. It's like they have like a launch sale. It's like 20% off or something like that. So you can get it for like $10, $11.
Yeah, there's some pretty good sales going on right now on eShop and PlayStation Network. Both have pretty good sales going on right now. So it's a good time to pick some stuff up before the year gets really started.
Absolutely, been enjoying it thoroughly. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing. Nice. Got Code Vein too, so I've been playing. Finally got around to playing the full Code Vein. So just kind of started that up. It's good.
Nice. What's system you grabbing on? What are you grabbing on?
Xbox One X. Yeah. I mean, that's what I picked it up on.
That's a third-party machine, man.
It is. That's pretty much where I get all my my third-party games whenever I do. If they're available. I always get the Xbox One X version. But yeah, it's good. It runs good on there. It looks great on the Xbox One X. And it really is if you're not into Dark Souls, like if you don't like if you like to pause your game, for example, sometimes, if you like, you can do some of those things.
Pause your game. What kind of world
No,
is this?
it's like anime, but it's like Dark Souls. So it's like, I don't know, some people probably won't like it as much, but I definitely like it more than Dark Souls in terms of what I played at the beginning. So for me, it's pretty cool.
I like how Nate's like, he all of a sudden he's back. He's not muted anymore once he hears you talk about that game. Stop talking about like the last 2 weeks. Nate, what have you been playing? What do you play this week?
I've been playing the eShop 2020 Game of the Year, and I know MVG is also playing it because we have good gaming taste.
Bloodbreed.
Yes,
I
Bloodbreed.
thought the game OJ was just talking about was Game of the Year.
It's been replaced
Oh,
by the
gosh.
new eShop release.
3000 Duel is no longer Game of the Year, Brett.
Hey, when a game that looks like a PS1 game and the introduction has you hit a deer with your truck, and then you end up in a weird factory where a murderer chases you to an awesome hardcore rock and roll riff, and then you start cutting the heads off cowmen, that replaces 3000th Duel very quickly.
There's too many hidden gems, Nate, on that eShop. If only there was a video of some kind on your channel that pointed them out.
So far, we're up to 2.
2? Really? That's it?
I don't think that quantifies as a lot of hidden gems.
You play a lot of these games. You really only found 2 so far this year?
We're in February.
Yeah, but dude, you play, like, you'll always be playing a different game like every other day on the eShop.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they're the eShop Game of the Year contenders.
But just like
And
games
some
worth
have
the money.
retail presence. Some have retail presence, so they don't
okay.
qualify.
No, it can't. It has to be download only on the eShop, buried basically.
Yes.
Okay.
There are certain rules in place, and Bloodbreed is that unique game that no one's going to buy.
How much
because
is
I think it's like $5.
Oh gosh, what? Really? That's it?
I think it's $8, but it's on sale right now.
Yeah. It's,
Wait, did you say $8 instead of $5? Not buying it. Sorry.
Yeah. That's not. I mean, that's
breaking my pockets, man.
Yeah. Okay. Did anyone play? Did anyone check out Warface on the Switch?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Just to see how it was. Just to see, because I was curious. That's the first MVG's first CryEngine game on the Switch.
Yeah, man. I installed it. I played it for about 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, this is cool. Then kind of threw it away. But
Sony, they need to move for that. Yeah, but they need to move. Just need to move Call of Duty onto the Switch already. It needs to happen. Because I played a bit of Warface and I was like, yeah, it's a free to play game. Definitely, you can tell when you're playing it that it's free to play. Some people have like really powerful guns and they have the extra armor and like,
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, that happens. But it shows that the Call of Duty experience can work on the Switch, and there'd be plenty of people I think would be down to play and buy the game. Like I don't understand. Like Activision, it's like, yo, let's support Wii U. But although Nintendo worked with them for that, I mean, that is a deal that they did work out. But still, I mean, the fact that it's not on there, hey, I mean, they can do whatever they want. It's their franchise. But man, I mean, it seems a bit weird. I mean, it even works on mobile. Have you guys played Call of Duty Mobile?
I haven't. I never played it. People said it's actually really, really good, though. It's
actually good if you've got a good phone. If your phone is trash or not good, like if you got a modern phone, it's good. Like on the OnePlus phones, it works. You have graphics options and settings. It's actually pretty good for not as if I like the game, because I don't really like Call of Duty that much. But I'm just saying, like, like just playing it. I installed it and I played it, and I was like, oh wow, this is actually smooth and plays well. I mean, they could do it on Switch.
I still think the issue they run into is that game is Call of Duty right now is massive. It's like 100-something gigabytes, or so. It's crazy.
For a phone?
No, for the one on the
general.
console right now.
I was like, what the?
But there were those rumors about Modern Warfare 2 getting remastered. I thought they just pull the multiplayer of that and put it on the Switch by itself, and that would be fine. But yeah, Warface, it's for what it is. It's all right, I guess. I mean, it's free, so people can just download it and just like if they just got a Switch and they have like one game but they want a shooter, just go download it and
I know RGT's been playing it. He likes it quite well.
Yeah, it is interesting though to see CryEngine on there, because that means we could get some Crysis on the Switch maybe.
Can it run Crysis? Yes, it can.
Hey, Crysis 2 was on the Xbox 360, so was Crysis.
Yep.
Yeah,
they had all on there. What if they had like a couple of those drop on the Switch?
You're giving EA the benefit of the doubt of releasing a Switch game?
Yeah.
Hey, they did Jedi Fallen Order.
Not on the Switch.
No, I mean just in general. They didn't touch it. They let it have come out without microtransactions.
I give Respawn that credit though.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for there needs to be a separation of the two. Let me just say
that was Respawn.
Can we separate Respawn and EA? I know EA owns them, but can we separate those two? Because I don't really like putting them together. Like, you know, that's just me.
Yeah, that's probably an easier thing for EA to do compared to. I mean, actually, maybe The Sims might be easier. The Sims is probably a more straightforward money cash in for them.
Let's just be real, John. Let's just be real, John. You guys know good and well that EA tried to put their grubby hands all over, you know, Fallen Order, and Respawn probably kicked him and said back off.
Yeah, probably.
They probably told him back because they have the clout to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Vince does.
Yeah, Vince has the clout
to back it up.
Yeah, so he said back off because you know EA wanted to do something. There's no way that game comes off that clean. You know what I'm saying? Without EA getting their hands on it. Like, oh wait a minute, hold up, a normal single player game with no multiplayer, it actually sold. EA was probably shocked.
Yeah, they probably did. I almost wonder if they were like, I hope this doesn't sell, so we can just go right back to what we were doing. But it's gonna cross 8 million units sold. That's pretty good. So yeah,
that's that EA, man.
I did also I also picked up Vanquish because they did.
Nice. How was it on the X?
Yeah, because they did they did the Bayonetta Vanquish collection thing. I didn't get because I have Bayonetta like 4 different times now. I was like, I just want to get Vanquish and play. It's been a long time since I played that Vanquish 360. I didn't even try it on the Xbox One when they made it backwards compatible. But like this has, I think they said it has new 4K textures or something. All this stuff added to it. It's shocking. It looks shockingly good for being a 360 game. I will say that, and it's still Vanquish. If you've never played Vanquish, I think it's worth picking up to play because it's a really fun game by Platinum. But it's still Vanquish, same game we played, but it looks like it could pass as an Xbox One game now.
It looked way better than most Xbox 360 games.
Yeah, it did.
Because it was a very late Xbox 360 game. You know, it was later in the life of the Xbox 360. I remember I 100% did that game back when it came out, and I wanted to shoot myself, but I did it. And yeah, that game's nuts. It's a really good game. So if you haven't picked up Vanquish yet, you guys check it out.
Man. It runs smooth too. I didn't have any issues with the frame rate or anything. It was great, very very smooth. So I had fun with that. I played through a bit of that. Just tried out. Then Devil May Cry 3 came out on the Switch. Played that. I think Sean finished it. He would have been good to talk to on it here. Yeah, he played. That's the first time he's ever played Devil May Cry 3, and this is like yeah, right. That's what I said. I was like, wow, dude, this game came out in 2005, and it was a lot of places gave it a perfect score back then on the PS2. That was the game to get back then. Devil May Cry 3. But yeah, it's still good, and they added some extra stuff, mostly like the style switching, which works pretty well, and then they also have like the quick weapon switching, and I think in Bloody Palace they have like a co-op kind of mode that I haven't tried, but it's still Devil May Cry. It looks good. It reminds me very much of what's on the PS4 right now with their collection. But I think for $20, if you've never played 3, it's absolutely worth picking up, and some of the extra stuff was pretty cool on it. So for Sean, it was completely worth it. But what about MVG? What were you playing, man? What'd you play this week?
Well, I played Bloodbreed, as Nate mentioned, and I actually saw Nate's direct feed games video on it, and I was like, "What is this PS1 looking survival horror game?" I'm intrigued, so I picked it up and I've been playing it. Man, I like it. I think it's really cool.
How far did you get into it?
I'm like an hour and a half into it, man. I'm not that far into it.
I haven't beaten it yet. Did you get to the scene where like the scientist guy abducts you for a second?
No.
Like it's right before you get the axe.
Oh yeah, no, I did. Yeah. Okay. I remember that part. Yeah. I'm like just a little further than that.
The story is so weird.
It is. Yeah. It's very weird, but it's a very intriguing game. So I want to try to keep playing it and see if I can beat it. The other thing I picked up, actually, it came in today. I was hoping I'd get it earlier. Was Dreams on the PS4. So
I've had Dreams I've had that for a while, and because I bought it in early access, the alpha they did, and I keep seeing the stuff that people are doing, and I keep almost like starting it back up just to check because yesterday I saw that someone recreated Ghost of Tsushima, the action scene from the trailer.
I saw Final Fantasy VII Remake. I saw Ghosts. I see all sorts of cool
Mario
stuff.
64 has been done in there. And,
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued, man. So I'm gonna give this a good go tomorrow and see what it's all about.
It is. People are doing some crazy stuff in that game. Someone remade like the entire first bit of Fallout 4.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's awesome.
Like completely. It was like shockingly close.
Cryo chambers and everything.
Yeah, like it's shockingly close. You see like the startup where you see the suit and everything, and the camera's kind of panning around, and like the setup start menu and all that. It's all there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wild, yeah. And you can search this stuff up on Dreams and just download and play. You don't have to build a thing in Dreams. You can literally just go through and just play other people's stuff.
Wow.
So you buy that one game, and it's like you have like thousands of other games that you just play. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What about Miss Click?
Well, I mean, I've been gone, so we were in Colorado.
That's right.
Only thing I really got time, because I pretty much just wanted like detox for a while. Yeah. The only thing I did get to start, like on the final day, like we were coming back, was I finally got around to playing myself Final Fantasy VII. So that's been good. I've just been playing it on the speed up mode though. Like like it's so slow, dude. We were talking about it there on stream, but yeah, it's a very slow paced game if you're playing it on the normal speed. So it's no wonder why that game people say it like takes a while to beat, but I'm glad they have that ability on there, like you guys were saying. And
you got to see snow, right?
I did, and I was so excited. For chat, 25 years, never seen snow. So, it was pretty awesome. I looked like a freaking tourist. When it did
snow, or did you just see it on the ground when it was?
Yeah, so it had just snowed like right before we got there, and I was sad because I was like, man, I'm just not gonna get to see it, but at least it's like crunchy and fluffy and everything. So I freaking looked like an idiot. And then I think it wasn't the next day, but the day after, when we were actually like getting to tour like Union Station and everything and walking around, it just like started like coming down like really, really fast, and it snowed for the rest of the day, and I had a blast. I was a freaking Floridian in the middle of a beautiful snowy wonderland. It was great. So
very nice. What about Evan?
Last week was a busy work week for me mostly, but Metro Exodus did drop on Steam, so I picked it up to check it out.
That apparently that game actually sold pretty well still on Steam, even though it was on Epic Game Store like last year.
I mean, it started at a lower than full price, so I mean, it's a good way to get into it. Is just to
because it's already on Game Pass too, like
especially since it's been out for so long. The originals had so many bugs early, and then patch over time. Now we're getting them, and it's like, this is basically the flawless version.
How much is it now?
I think I picked it up for like 30. I want to say
that's pretty good actually. Okay, yeah, because the game's really good. So
yeah, and then I got back into Warframe, so I'm back into that grind until it gets boring again. Then I'll stop.
Up, and I'm like, this dude's back into Warframe again.
Yeah, well, they added spaceships, so it's basically got the Sea of Thieves element now.
Oh, that's pretty neat. And those are patches that'll come to consoles and stuff too. At some
eventually,
point. Yeah. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Wow. All right, very nice. We got Discord question, Evan.
I mean, we were talking about Dreams. So how do you think Dreams should, could, and will handle copyright strikes?
Oh gosh, that's going to be funny. I do want to see that happen at some point just to see how it's going to be dealt with, because it's going to happen, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
See Mario and DK running around in there. You got Snake from Metal Gear Solid in one of the games. Even Sony's own games, they might look at that and say, well, hold on, I don't think you can use Spider-Man. So it's gonna be.
I don't think anything will happen. You can't sell it for profit, so it doesn't matter.
I don't think they're gonna do. I don't think they're gonna do anything.
Well, I mean, you can't sell the games they're making on it for profit, but the game itself is being sold for profit, and if it's being sold after those are made, then technically it's part of it.
But I mean, fan games still get shut down even if they have no intention of selling them.
Yeah, like if I make Metroid Prime on Dreams, Nintendo's gonna shut it down. Right.
Here's how you test it. Someone try to make Pokemon. See how long that lasts. They'll come looking for you. We've seen that a couple of times now. Even Activision is doing some wild stuff right now on some leakers even. So.
But if you base it off of Temtem.
Temtem like skates that line though. They've sold over 500,000 copies now just on PC in early access.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Once that comes to consoles next year, it's probably gonna be in the millions pretty easily.
Oh, it's gonna. People are gonna play it. It's gonna be.
I got my backing pass to the Switch already.
Nice.
I supported it, so I'm getting it for the Switch.
Ooh.
That'll be good to see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think one company's going to take a shot at some sort of cease and desist or something, and I'll be curious to see how that gets handled. You don't think anyone's going to try, Nate?
No.
Really? Wow.
Seems to me like free advertising.
Yeah, but I mean, we've said that about companies like Marvelous and stuff in the past, and yeah.
Screw. Okay, we're not talking about those bumps. Listen.
Yeah, but they exist, and it's just a thing. Like you got to deal with it.
That company, they're idiotic though. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're idiotic. Like, I think that if you look at like Dreams, you can't really play. Like, it's the games and they're cool and everything, but it doesn't really. The gameplay is not that great.
It.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's cool to see, but it seems like smaller, bite-sized like pieces of different type of stuff that people can create. I think a lot of companies are just gonna be like, all right, like they'll let it be. I mean, yeah, there might be one or two douchebag companies like a Marvelous. Yeah, you're right. There might be that. Don't make Daemon Ex Machina in Dreams. Because I think most companies are gonna be cool with it.
Dreams is basically a game engine essentially that you build games in.
Yeah.
But Game Maker is the same thing. But you can get a DMCA for making a game in Game Maker, something like that, right? Like where you're using a different. So I mean, it's so close. I don't know.
Yeah, I think somewhere in the fine print in there it says, we take no responsibility for it.
Good luck.
Yeah, but there's probably also an end user license thing where if they get enough complaints about one guy's game, they'll just ban him from the game.
They'll just take the game down. Yeah, that's fine. Because it's still technically closed. Like you can't extract the game or the stuff from Dreams, right? It's all still closed into Dreams. So they can, at the end of the day, if they get a DMCA, they're just going to take it down. Okay, yeah, that's gone. We'll see. You got another Discord question, Evan? While I pull up super chats before we get into the topics here.
What game or game franchise has affected your career the most?
Oh,
Game
franchise.
I'm interested to hear this.
Game or game franchise? That's a good question.
That affected
career.
That's a good. Yeah.
The wording of career made it sound interesting because if it's just like life, then you're talking about a game you really enjoyed. But career,
yeah.
Like thing that shaped you. What's going on?
Which console did you take apart to get the most views? No.
You know what? I'll take a shot at that.
Go ahead.
We all know what mine is, so I'm not gonna answer.
We all know.
No, I'll take a shot at that. I'll say the original Phantasy Star Online because being able to play online with friends, it's like be doing that now and being able to do that with viewers and to be able to stream that and show that off. It's like it's a whole new experience. So being able to expose your gameplay online and share that with other people, I would say the original Phantasy Star Online did that for me.
I'm going to say Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Because that red ringed every single 360 and PS3. And we fixed every one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And kept the store going for years and years on it.
I think the whole Call of Duty, it was the whole Call of Duty franchise fueled that. Because we even had people coming in because, my system's lagging. Can you guys fix it? And it's like, okay, we can try.
Even the original Wii, the laser in that would get killed by Black Ops or get killed by Smash Bros. Because Smash Bros was a dual layer. So
really,
it would light up that Switch's laser every time.
It would burn it out. It would burn it out to the point where it could read single layer easily, but not dual, and then that was it.
Yep, you got to change that whole thing out. That, and then I guess the other one was probably any of the NBA games. Yes, those were the games that were always in there whenever we fixed them because they'd be stuck.
I think they meant your YouTube career, John.
I mean, that kept us going until we got here.
Yeah, that started them. Yeah. That makes sense though.
I don't know, YouTube career, I don't know. Soldier Boy's console, I don't know. Soldier game.
I would say Smash and Fire Emblem for me. Most people that come to my channel like Smash and Fire Emblem for sure. That got me so much traction last year when Nintendo invited me for that. So yeah, like Fire Emblem and Xenoblade, like stuff like that. So for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're like a live streamer, it's probably easier to pick out which game that like everyone wants to play,
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But MVG, you ported something that back in the day you did Xbox emulation.
I was thinking Doom because I've ported that to 3 different consoles. So I would say that's the one for me that really stands out more than any of them.
What about Nate? Is there a game that affected your career?
No.
Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Yeah,
There's absolutely no game
that's right. There is
my
no
career at all.
game. Did you hear that? He said there is no game in Sayonara Wild Hearts. You heard it.
Well, there's a great game in Sayonara Wild Hearts. And let me just remind everyone, it did win Mobile and Portable Game of the Year.
Oh,
So
beat out
just-
Candy
just
Crush's
putting
new
it out
expansion.
Wait, whoa. Sayonara Wild Hearts is great, and the chat is going to back me up on this. If they
Tall
don't,
claim.
then they should buy the game and experience the greatness that is Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Yeah, wouldn't
'Cause
Mario
Wild Hearts
Sunshine-
never die? And Sean would be here to stick up for it. And Sean's meat of the week this week was
It's turkey and ham.
ham and turkey.
So basic.
To get like combined or separate?
Apparently combined. That's what he just said.
He must
like-
have got some weird turkey pig hybrid
I would say,
creature.
did he like slice it up and like just put it into like a salad or something? Well, I'm sorry, into
Salad.
like a raisins or
Yeah,
something.
just pile it on with raisins.
Gosh.
You know what? Untitled Goose Game inspired me to be the jerk I am.
We lost Miss Click.
That gave me my career. Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game.
Honk at people and say you're wrong,
You saw that one game of the year at Dice, right, Nate?
and it rightly deserved it.
Okay.
I agree there.
Okay, so Click disappeared. OJ's muted. What the hell is going on?
No, this
I
Click's
think
back.
I think Discord crashed because
It did?
like it just like shut down
On
and
her
restarted.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Click's back. OJ's disappeared right now. He's
It
back.
might be loading in, yeah.
Yeah. Let me go over to some of the super chats here. Trip and Fall says, I recently watched SpawnCast #1 and Spawn was asking for Skate 4 even back then. Has anyone on the SpawnCast been hoping for a game as long as this? That's 151 episodes ago, or 150 episodes ago. Then that was 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been asking for
I
Chrono
mean,
Trigger
yeah, I was gonna say there's quite a few games that have been.
for like how many decades now I've been asking
I mean,
for like a
how
new-
long have people been asking for Mother 3?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Chrono Trigger, like a new Chrono game, because Chrono Cross came out in 2001. So I've been asking for a new Chrono game since 2000. Like,
And people
2 or
ask
3.
for Half-Life 3 forever too. So yeah, I
just-
think
I just want Chrono Trigger remake. That's all.
yes, people. I've been on record for a while for Skate 4, and it still has not happened. Skate 3 has been. We're going on 10 years soon. Skate 3 has been like the last Skate game. So
Right.
people keep saying it's out there somewhere. Bryson said, shout out to SpawnCast. You guys picking up Doom or Animal Crossing on the 20th? I'm on the Animal Crossing boat, but love for those heading to hell instead. What do you, if you,
I'll
well,
get
let's,
both.
yeah, okay. So a lot of us are going to say both. Let's just say you had to pick one.
Doom.
Animal
Yeah, I'd get
Crossing.
Doom.
Animal
I'm
Crossing.
probably just gonna get Doom anyway.
And that's no disrespect to Animal Crossing, which is going to be an absolutely amazing game.
It's
but
just it's just not my game. I don't probably not
I
yours.
just said that Doom is like the game that changed
Well, you
my
gotta,
life.
yeah,
right?
if you got to pick, you
Guys
gotta pick
are
one.
just
Well, see,
scared to
if I
embrace your
have to-
inner cuteness.
If I have to
Just
pick
embrace
one,
it.
if I have to pick one, it's going to be Animal Crossing because I want to get Doom on the Switch, and it's not coming out that day.
Oh, that's true.
But if it was coming out on the Switch, you'd grab Doom instead. Like if it was there the same day as all of them.
Maybe, or I'd get Animal Crossing on the 20th. I'd get Doom the 21st.
Let's say you don't get to the store until they're both out. Like
I would get, if I had to pick one, I'd get Doom, but I'm gonna get both of them anyway. So, okay. How about this? If you buy both, which one do you play first?
Animal Crossing.
Well,
Really?
I mean,
it's gotta get the views for it.
yeah. But I feel like Doom, it's like when it's over, right? You know,
Yes.
like Animal Crossing doesn't like really ever end.
Exactly.
Like
There's
we're gonna be
multiple-
seeing this game
there's
for
multiplayer.
years.
There's
Yeah.
multiplayer in Doom though.
The way I see it is, you get
And
Doom,
Animal Crossing
right?
too, though.
Yeah.
You play Doom for a couple hours, right? And then you got to bring the heart rate down. You get over to Animal Crossing to finish up for the day.
Yeah, there you go.
So Nate, you actually
So,
going forward with the ASMR Animal Crossing idea that you told us about a while ago?
Maybe I might still do the Animal Crossing ASMR channel.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh,
It's the perfect game for it. I just get to sit there and be like, here I am, gonna go fishing now. Gonna wiggle my worm out there in the water. Get a little nibble.
Wow.
Time to reel it
be
in.
a
Let's
golf
see what we have.
commentator.
Oh, we caught a bass.
Your first purchase has to
name
be
is-
those that ear recording device, so you can kind of go back and forth.
Oh, I like the sticker that Andy Ackerman put there. That's cool. I
Isn't it
forgot that
cute?
they do that now. So they have stickers for like Super Chat now.
Yep.
That's
See?
cool.
Andy's
catching up to
embracing
other
his
people.
inner cuteness.
Thanks, Andy. I like the sticker. That's neat. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get both. I think Doom on the Xbox One X. I want to see how it performs with Doom, and then Animal Crossing. So that should be fun. I think 20th is gonna be fun. But what about Ori though? When's that? That's out next month too, right,
Yep.
Nate?
It is.
Oh, that's exciting.
You're gonna be done that game in like 2 days though.
Yeah, Ori will be a game I just sit down and play 12 hours straight
I was
through.
blast through that game. Yeah, absolutely. See, look, Nate Melvin says gladly watch that Animal Crossing ASMR
Because
channel.
it's a good idea.
Do
And
it.
someone's gonna steal it from me because they just heard it today.
There you go. You should do it. You should do it, Nate. See what happens.
Maybe.
Yeah, I expect to see Animal Crossing ASMR on the 20th, Nate. You already have a name for your island?
Careless
No.
Whisper.
You might want to get on that.
No.
Smooth
I got a channel
operator.
though.
Corsonic says I've been playing Crystal Maidens on Steam this week. I don't think I'm familiar with Crystal Maidens. Okay. Katana Riku says Sup Spawn, Abaddon, Miss Click, and OJ. How's it going?
Hello.
Helvet says going to hell.
What about us? What about the other people?
We
are here. We can see that.
Moving on. Helvet says going to hell instead of picking up Animal Crossing Flat Grass Edition. The shots at the grass, man.
Why? What's so bad about the grass? It's Animal Crossing grass. Dang it.
I think the visuals in Animal Crossing actually look really good.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it looks
like
great.
the water.
It's
Pretty unified, yeah. It has a good feel overall.
It's supposed to be like a very simplistic look, but it still has a lot going on to make it look
Yeah.
complex, but also simple. I think it looks fine. It looks
It's
pretty good.
simple but clean. But no, I mean, Doom is a game that people are going to be excited for to play. Animal Crossing is a completely different type of game. But yeah, Animal Crossing is going to be around for.
It's gonna be around for a long time.
Yeah,
Doom apparently is like 20 hours long, which is pretty good for a first-person shooter. But Animal Crossing will literally be around like people will still be playing it like 10 years from now, probably. People still play New Leaf, right?
Look at Minecraft and Stardew. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Starboy says Retro Mania Wrestling gets no physical. Hey, you gotta talk to Sean on that one. He's not here, okay? You have to ask Sean. Sean's the person to ask about a physical copy of Retro Mania Wrestling. Although you never know, you get limited run or somebody else pick it up. Console Gamer says, what's your guys' fire hazard setup? I have my Xbox One, PS4, Switch, Wii U, and GameCube hooked up to my TV. Don't do PC if you can tell by my name.
I've got 2 arcade cabinets, so that's a pretty bad fire hazard most of the time. I usually leave them unplugged most of the time.
I have a lot of stuff hooked up.
Yeah, I think
Candles.
I think everything I have here is hooked up to one socket.
I don't know.
I'm gonna die.
What's in front of me right now? Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, GameCube, PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, Switch, and my PC. That's just what's in front of me. That's what's in front of me. I
unplug stuff, so I mean, I don't be keeping stuff plugged in.
I didn't know we should unplug things, if I'm honest.
You are a drain on
I'm
the
gonna die.
electrical system.
It's like the PS4 and the Xbox One take up so much energy, like on your bill. Like,
hey, I'm solar powered over here, man.
Oh well, I'm not.
Look at you. You got your Teslas?
What? No.
Well, what type of solar panels do you have? Do you have some that you feed off, or do they feed back into the grid and you get a discount?
They feed back into the grid.
All right.
Yeah. It's those kind. I don't have the Tesla ones. Those would be fancy if I did, though. I don't have those, unfortunately.
It's only me living here, though, so I don't.
Yeah,
use
you're
much
fine.
energy.
Yeah.
You still reduce your carbon footprint, OJ. Look at Ed Begley Jr.
It's just me in this house.
Barber says, anyone excited for the new Star Wars Lego game?
Sean,
Those are fun games.
Sean would be all for that. Yeah. Lego games. I have not really looked into the Star Wars Lego game. You know, I started to fall out of the Lego games when I realized how similar they were. Because the first few were really good, and then I started to realize that they felt very same.
I've been here before.
Yeah. Adam says, hey, I'm excited for Streets of Rage 4 and Panzer Dragoon Remake. Do you think this opens up the opportunity to bring back other old Sega games? Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Jet Set Radio?
Maybe.
Oh man, I hope so.
See, there's like a campaign going on online to try to get that to come back, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to come back, but I'd love for it to come back.
We're gonna talk about Sega. Hold on.
Are we gonna talk about Sega? Okay.
Yes.
I have that on the list for.
Let's talk about Sega later.
And Atlus specifically with Sega.
Oh God.
We'll talk about that, Adam.
Oh, Atlus, good. We'll have a Discord question for that. That'll be fine.
Oh, good.
Dear God.
This is from Evan saying, "Hey, SpawnCast, what 16-bit game would you guys like to see get the Trails of Mana remake treatment? I'd personally love to see Shining Force get it." I mean, you got a lot of you guys said. Well, here's the thing. Hold on.
Dude, just watch Shining Force.
I think most people would like to see Chrono Trigger get the Final Fantasy VII remake upgrade treatment, right? This would be for more of Trials of Mana, like that kind of that, not quite that far, but like still upgrade. You know what I mean?
You're like where they actually put the whole game in like one go. Yes,
Yeah.
I like that treatment. That treatment's great.
Are we going to really have this conversation now?
It was too easy for me to say. It was too easy. I'm getting Final Fantasy VII remake, guys. It was John just set it up for me though, because Trials of Mana is actually the full game. He just said, okay, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think. I mean, what would be another game that's not as well known? I guess because
I mean, I stick Metal Warriors was 16-bit, right? That was not.
Yeah. You could say Metal Warriors. I'm gonna say Terra Enigma. That would be a good one. That got stuck in Europe. I don't think that was a PAL game, PAL RPG. That would be cool if they did it with that one. I don't know if enough people really want it though. Like I get why Seiken Setsu 3 was like one of the ones that they lined up for it.
What about something like Breath of Fire?
Yeah,
that would be a good one. Yeah. That would be good. Doing
Link
Breath
to the
of Fire.
Past. I thought John, you said Link to the Past.
I mean, Link to the Past would be good.
Link to the Past that's tough.
They got to tackle that. They got to tackle that with a good budget though. They really got to hit that one hard.
Yeah, Link to the Past. Like if you went a Link's Awakening type route, and even if you were able to perfect the art style that Link to the Past had in a modern era, I don't know if you're going to lose a certain bit of it. I'd like Link to the Past, just Super NES. It's perfect. Leave it alone. Ocarina of Time is basically a 3D remake or 3D version of Link to the Past as it is. Let's keep porting it as a Super NES game.
Trials of Mana, it's like a flat, kind of like a, it's not the 3D that it's in that they're portraying it there. It's
not.
It's like anymore. So they completely, which might take away some of the charm from the game. I'm not really sure. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe if they do something like that with like Link to the Past, that might be something kind of cool. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's very it'd be interesting just to see how it turned out.
Evan, do we have another Discord question before we move in, or should we save that one for Sega and Atlus and all that?
I mean, we can go with this basic one. What guests do you wish could come on the SpawnCast more often?
RGT 85.
They come on more often.
Are these nominations?
Good question.
Or coming back?
We've been trying to get Arlo to come on the SpawnCast.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We'll try to. I think, like I said, a pre-recorded one. I'd like to get him on here. That'd be fun.
I still nominate Yang Ye.
That'd be interesting to have him on. Yeah. That'd be a good one.
Chat's going crazy with recommendations.
Bob Wolf.
But we've had Bob on here. Bob's free. We can get him on here.
Bob's free.
He's free.
Yeah, what else is he doing?
He's probably watching right now. Bob, jump in Discord, okay? Let me know. Jump in Discord, man. I know you're probably watching now. Oh man, that's funny. Let's go over. Okay, so let's just talk about PAX East and GDC, okay? Because Sony's skipping them. Well, they canceled their plans to attend PAX East, and I remember, Nate, we even talked about it, what's going to happen at GDC, and then the next day they come out and they say, yeah, we're not going to GDC either. And it's due to their concerns around the outbreak of the coronavirus, and it seems to mostly stem from them having to travel from Japan, as a lot of travel from that part of the world is being canceled and kind of shut down for now. But other companies are going. It seems that Nintendo is still going. Microsoft's still going. Square will have their, I believe their US branch kind of handle PAX East now. And that kind of leaves Sony. They're not doing PAX East, they're not doing GDC, and they're not doing E3 at this point. So they don't really have a lot of events lined up going forward for the rest of this year, in a year where they're going to introduce their new system.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So what does everyone think about Sony canceling plans for PAX East and GDC over a virus? Is that actually a good idea, or so they just kind of said, we'll get people from the area, locals, to actually run that stuff?
It's a good idea.
I agree. It's a good idea.
I agree too.
That's why Jordan was like, hey, whoa, they gotta go.
I mean, if it's like local branches and stuff, like I guess what Square's doing, like that makes sense too. I think for them maybe it's a little convenient. Maybe they're kind of like all right, well, we have a valid reason that people understand. We just kind of keep them waiting for a lot of things. No demos.
Square was having the voice actors go to sign stuff, weren't they?
Yeah, and they're gonna have the demos and everything too. So.
Yeah, apparently they're still doing the demo. They sent out a press release.
Are they?
At their booth,
the American branch is just gonna manage it.
Yeah, they'll still. But Sony obviously won't be there to have the demo as well, so that'll probably end up being like a longer line. But they will be. So Nate, you can play Final Fantasy VII Remake there.
Yeah, well now I just.
But Last of Us.
The Last of Us won't be there.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sony was gonna have apparently Final Fantasy VII Remake there as well, next to that. So Nate, you won't be able to play Last of Us, but you will be able to play Final Fantasy, and we assume whatever Nintendo does, I guess we assume it's gonna be Animal Crossing. They haven't.
More than
Nintendo
likely.
They haven't announced their PAX East lineup yet.
I think they more or less have, in the sense of, we have Animal Crossing and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon coming out next month. There's our lineup.
Oh gosh, Mystery Dungeon though, that's their. Oh, okay. Oh, Jordan's not here to defend that either.
Yeah.
My gosh, Jordan's missing out this episode.
Maybe he fell asleep.
Possible.
He might have.
Very possible.
Okay, so go ahead, MJ.
I was going to say I'm okay with Sony coming out and making that statement. The other thing that probably was lesser known was there was some event in Tokyo that they also canceled as well recently.
Yes, the Taipei games.
That's correct. Yeah. So I mean, the message is loud and clear. We are not going to attend any more of these events until further notice. And I guess the question is how long that will be and whether that will impact.
Here's my question with this: is Nintendo still sending anyone from Japan to the PAX East?
Has it been clarified?
Did they ever announce intentions to send anyone from Japan to PAX East? They very rarely do. It's primarily Nintendo of America staff that host the meetings.
Did Sony? Sony would have. Were they actually going to send people from Japan?
Yoshida.
Yeah, he was scheduled to.
He had a conference. He had a keynote or whatever you want to call him at PAX East.
Mm-hmm.
So they just straight up canceled it for that then. Okay.
I believe there's other factors at play. It's not just like they canceled it because of Yoshida.
Okay. Because it was another question that was going around is what is that if Sony cancels and says we don't want to send our staff there because of this virus, but then other companies still send their people there with this virus in mind, what does that make those companies look like then if Sony's not doing it?
The problem is you can't. That's basically generalizing the entire situation. Is Sony investigated, they looked into it, they evaluated the situation, and they deemed this isn't worth a risk for our employees. If Nintendo evaluated on their own and they said, we don't see a viable risk at play here, we're going to send us, then that's their decision. Every business is going to make a decision that best suits their interests. It doesn't make one look bad and the other look good. Not either decision is acceptable. If a company decides to go, that's fine. If a company decides not to go, that's also fine. So it doesn't make Nintendo look like a risk taker compared to Sony because Sony opted out, and it doesn't make Sony look, smart and cautious when Nintendo look reckless. It's not one of those situations. It's each company looked into it on their own, and they viewed it and evaluated it and came to their own conclusion.
So I'll be honest. I looked at this. I said, okay, PAX East. I think they can live without PAX East. I don't think that's as big of a deal, right? They'd go there, they'd show off Last of Us Part 2, and then they'd go home. But they would have got ready for GDC. And that's the one that I think is a bigger deal, is that they're not going to do GDC.
GDC's omission is definitely a little more of an eyebrow raiser. That's a fairly significant exit for them. But they can I mean, they've
especially
had
with the PS. I mean,
out.
this is the year for the PS5. You feel like you want to go to the Game Developers Conference to talk to developers about the PS5.
Well, the problem is, like, they've had dev kits out now for over a year. They can still communicate with developers. This would have been a prime time to still meet with some publishers, to have some final meetings, to begin planning to get the final dev kits in hands to developers by around E3 timing. So
Yes.
it is a loss in the sense of in-person meetings. I'm sure there's still going to be communications, via email and such.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I don't think it's ultimately throwing off their game plan in a significant way that they're not attending GDC.
Exactly. There's still going to be meetings going on. I mean, business will still be done, even though Sony physically won't be there. There'll still be, things that get done. Meetings are still going to happen. Business is still going to get done. I don't think really that it's going to change that much.
Okay, so they just have to, but they're also not going to do E3 then. So there are 3 events now that they are not going to be doing this year. That it seems strange to have all of this happen, like I said, in the year of the PS5.
I mean, it's weird. It's only weird because of what's happening with PAX East and GDC due to the coronavirus concerns. Otherwise, we wouldn't really be looking at these 3 and saying, well, this is a very odd year for Sony, because of E3. They weren't attending E3 regardless of the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're handling they're going to evaluate everything internally, and they're going to find a solution. I mean, Sony's not a stupid company. They're not going to be all of a sudden thrown off guard. They're looking at the reality of what can happen in concerns with the virus moving forward. And they're probably still looking at things saying, is this going to impact our long-term plans or not? What are we actually looking at here before we act? And that's any business. They have to look at things, evaluate, and come to a game plan before moving forward. If they come out now and they act recklessly, and then something happens down the line, like say Europe isn't able to create a vaccine, or it spreads as the spring months, hit and manufacturing does not resume, Chinese developers do not get back to work.
So that
will then have a bigger impact on the industry. If there's no manufacturing lines, there's no systems to launch.
That leads into the last part of this. We've seen PAX East now get cut out basically for Sony, and GDC, which also Facebook's not going to be going. They're going to have their Oculus stuff like basically streamed and released. Could we be looking at the possibility of the PS5 and the Series X actually getting delayed because of what's going on right now?
It's way too early to know. It's way too early to even speculate on the possibility.
The possibility, yes. I would say yes. But to Nate's point, I think there's a certain amount of time that needs to pass before a decision is made on that. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think there's at least another couple of months before they say yes or no to that. But I would say, yeah, I mean, if the virus continues the way it's going, there is a possibility that it may delay the launch of the system this year.
Well, it would either be delayed or a very limited launch, I assume. Like a very limited launch.
It could be a region type launch where they launch, certain regions like they used to back in the old days. That's also another possibility that they do it that way. I don't think anything is off the table right now as far as what their next move is.
Okay.
Right.
Do you think anyone else pulls out of GDC? PAX East is too close. Like at this point, everyone's locked in, I think, for PAX East.
Yes, I expect some other companies will exit GDC.
Okay. All right, then. All right. We'll see what happens with that. But PAX East, I think at this point, is pretty much locked in. So if you're going for any one company that's still left, they're probably going to be at PAX East. So there you go, Nate. You can try out a few games.
I mean, Capcom also canceled their Monster Hunter Fest in Boston.
Yes.
So, people like to be focusing just on Sony, but it is other companies who had plans at PAX East who are now canceling.
Well, I think Sony's under the microscope here because they have the console launching at the end of the year. That's mostly why. They're one of the big 3.
Yeah, but I mean, some people think Sony canceled their PAX East plans because they're concerned about the PS5. PS5 was never making a showing at PAX East. So, the two are completely unrelated in that regard.
It's more GDC at this point.
So does Microsoft now, wrong foot or blindside Sony and just go for it and do the announcement for the Series X?
There we go.
I mean, wouldn't they be in the
GDC?
same predicament though?
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft really can't preempt it either because Even Nintendo's already said we're going to have hardware shortages coming in April.
Yeah.
And it's going to move into May. Even though these companies have moved some of their manufacturing out of China into other areas, some of the elements, like actual goods they need, still come from China, and they cannot work around that.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what happens with GDC as we get closer to that in second half of March. That's when GDC will happen. Let's move over to Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing Direct. It's about 27 minutes long. There's a lot of stuff shown in this Direct.
Mm-hmm.
What did everyone think of what they saw? Because I have to say, I went into Animal Crossing and I was unsure, and I came out of that Direct and I said, okay, I think I'm sold on this game at this point. The last time I really played an Animal Crossing seriously was on the GameCube. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna dive back in with this one, and we'll see how it goes. What did everyone think of the Direct?
Well, before we start, even though he's not here, Sean did say, I think Animal Crossing looks cool, but I think my gaming taste has just changed, making me not interested. That was Sean's take. So,
wait, where was this?
It's on our Twitter feed.
He tweeted it.
Oh, it's on
He
Twitter.
just said, "Where's more information about Animal Crossing?" Wasn't he just talking about that on the last week's podcast?
He was,
there wasn't enough information.
Yeah, he needed more information, but now he has the information, and that's his take. Is he's just not interested in it anymore.
Understandable.
Okay. That's fine.
Oh gosh, Miss Click, what are your thoughts on Animal Crossing? You seem very excited for it.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I played on the original North American on the GameCube, and then I played City Folk. I didn't end up playing on any of the handhelds because I didn't have a handheld for a while.
Hell?
Yeah. Well, dude,
You haven't played the good Animal Crossing.
Excuse me?
The GameCube one is amazing.
The
The
GameCube
GameCube one is and City Folk was really good too. I mean, granted, a lot of people complain about the adaptations to the handhelds. Like, they changed things they didn't need to change, and there were like that's all I've heard is like, oh yeah, you missed we don't talk about, what is it, Wild World, but New Leaf was good, and it's like, okay, that's fine.
Everyone liked New Leaf.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, whatever. But so I remembered City Folk came out in 2008. And I played that for a while. I still played it on my Wii U when I had my Wii U. So I didn't really need a handheld because you can just keep doing things. I'm very excited to get back into it. I think the game looks fantastic. I love the fact, I was telling chat, you can basically play God and change the terrain of
that was
the
interesting.
freaky map now. I think so many people lost their minds. I love the fact it's like Death Stranding. You can just throw a ladder, climb up a cliff, if you don't want to change it, and then just get on to the next level. You don't have to go around and look for a ramp or anything. A lot of really cool things. I love the crafting aspect. It's kind of like a mix of Pocket Camp, that's tied us over. I think it was cool for me because, again, I didn't have the handheld, knowing that the floors can have multiple rooms on the same level. Because remember in the original and in City Folk, it was you expanded the room, then it was upstairs or the basement.
Upstairs, downstairs, yeah.
So I like the fact because apparently they had been talking about possibly doing that for City Folk, and they decided, no, we're not going to add that in. And then they waited for apparently the handhelds, which sucks, but it's whatever. And I love the fact that you can have temporary codes to have people come to your town, and you can adjust who can actually tear down trees in your place or not. And it's very streamer friendly, so you can throw out those temporary codes if you want to, and have 8 people visiting one town at once. I think that's awesome. Obviously, the app, talking and everything,
okay. The talking thing is weird, but I will give them credit. The idea of using QR codes to transfer stuff from New Leaf to this, that's actually a clever idea. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I love the fact that it's Amiibo compatible. We were concerned about that at first because we didn't really see the emblem what we thought we saw in the title. I think that's really, really cool. And then, the save state, the situation never really got better, to be honest.
It got a little worse. It's very confusing even now. So it's very weird.
Yeah.
That whole situation. Okay, hold on. Nate, apparently the handheld version is the best thing ever. Nate, help us out here.
Is that the only one you've played, Nate?
I played the GameCube one.
Okay,
the GameCube one, the DS one, the 3DS one. I didn't play the Wii one because it was awful.
What? I didn't play it because it was awful. Did you even play it once?
Yeah, and it was awful.
What was so bad about the Wii one? Well, then the Wii Speak thing where you
it was literally the same.
TV.
You didn't have to use that.
It
was literally the same as the GameCube one.
About it. It just
No, the only thing that was different about that one is they got rid of the acre marks. You know, instead of straight top down where you in between acres, it would like pan the screen. You know what I'm talking about, John? It turned it more to like the rounded curved like, world.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the main difference. And then instead of the train, it was a bus. And then instead, like you got to go and visit the city, which was cool. But you know, it wasn't like anything really overblown, but it wasn't bad. I don't know why people are saying it's bad.
Chat says it was pretty bad.
When chat agrees with me, it knows. That's when you know.
It knows. Chat's gonna wait till I say something and then say the opposite. We've already established this.
So that grass
with me. I could say the sky is blue, and they would say, "No, it's not. It's black right now."
Okay, Nate. So what do you think of this direct?
It was a good direct. They showed a lot of promising new features with the game. The game itself looks gorgeous. The god aspect, I mean, every basic entry of the game's kind of evolved you from like villager to mayor to now you're god. I'm not sure where they go with the next one. And there's a lot of promise with the game. But then we got deeper into the direct and they come up with their Q&A section and they botch the hell out of it, where they still just can't give us a clear, concise answer about a simple little aspect of the game. Save data.
It gets worse too, because they had originally had their entire direct, like that they did live stream and it stayed up on the channel, and it had fine print at the bottom that said that you can only do it once. They ripped the entire direct down, re-uploaded it just to change that line.
They did, yes.
Yeah, and it says more information coming later, and it's like, what is going on with it? Like their branches are all over the place because Europe has a different idea of it apparently on their store page than Nintendo America and Japan, and it's just like it's almost like they don't know what each one's doing, and no one knows what the idea here is to make this work.
And all they just need a nice, simple answer. Like, okay, we know it's a one-time use. If my Switch catches on fire, I can download my data off your server, which begs the question, why am I paying you $20 a year if you're storing my data to begin with, but I can only use it once? Because it means it exists. So I should be able to do it whenever I want. But that's Nintendo being Nintendo.
We should be able to transfer between systems, right? Like if you get a new system,
eventually
that should be easy, right? That should be pretty
eventually, but that's one of the features they're working on.
And they haven't even said how. They haven't even said how, because I mean, you could have to re-roll a whole other island, then they give you a giant bag filled with all the stuff you got from your prior game. Like,
so let me just hold on. They're gonna do Animal Crossing on the 20th, right? Everyone's gonna play. You're playing Animal Crossing day one, right, Miss Click?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to start an island, you're going to start a save file, you're going to play for about a week and a half, and then the Coral Switch Lite's going to come out. Well, what if you want to move your island to that Switch Lite, because that's your new system right there?
Then you better plan ahead.
See, well, that's the thing, because it's already weird, right? Like if now that I have a Switch Lite, you know, like I've just at this point decided there's some games I'm just gonna play on the Switch Lite, and then some games I'm just gonna play on my normal Switch. You know, like if you wanted to though, take your Animal Crossing and not bring both consoles with you. And take one with you, like that frustrates me. So like I totally get it, and it sucks. But at the same time, it's like, how would they be able to get around people abusing that? You know what I mean?
But that's
if they want to include it.
Animal Crossing is a game to me where, why should they care if you abuse it? You want to use a duplicate sheet and you want to affect how you experience the game? That's on you. Animal Crossing is a personal, exclusive experience. I don't care if you want 18,000 Master Swords in your house. It doesn't impact anybody except for the one sole player. There's no online glitching. It's not like Splatoon where I can say, "Oh, my gun is 12,000 times more powerful." Who gives a shit if you want all these?
Well, my question is, are there?
So wait a minute. So you're okay with people cheating to duplicate and save scum stuff? I don't think I want there to be that, but that doesn't give them. That doesn't mean it's okay though.
But it's only your experience with the game. You don't. It doesn't impact anyone else but you.
So it's okay to just like, but no, there's multiplayer in the game. It's like there's there's aspects of the game that's multiplayer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't think that's cool though. Like just since I want to cheat and I want everything, so let's just be able to do it. Like no, hold on.
Are there random online encounters though? Like, is there gonna be like an aspect where it's kind of like what's going on with Pokemon right now? Like, people legitimately are scared to play online on Pokemon because of the trading and the hacking and the raids. Like, the Pokemon Home stuff came out and the updates for the new Pokemon that aren't Pokemon yet. Like, like all the people that I follow, all of the freaking PokeTubers, they're like, don't trade online right now because you'll get a Mewtwo or you'll get a Bulbasaur.
Hold on.
What?
People are hacking Pokemon that bad right now?
Yeah.
People are terrified right now.
Because I was told that if we had cloud backup for Pokemon, they would just be rampant with cheaters.
Pokemon, from what I understand,
because we don't have cloud backups.
They're like people are getting banned and stuff, kind of like hacking, right?
My point is that Splatoon 2 wasn't allowed to have any type of save backups because then cheaters would be allowed into the game and it would ruin it. There's no cloud backups. The game is covered in cheaters at times.
I don't think I mean, with Splatoon is not as bad as people make it seem. I mean, granted, only like 50 people play Splatoon, so maybe that's why. But listen, I love the game, but I've only encountered maybe like 2 or 3 hackers really ever. Pokemon is like really bad right now.
Pokemon is really bad, and they said that you can't have cloud backups because they were concerned about some of that.
Yeah, but I feel like it's once the home stuff, like right before home came out, you know, like they added in another element, another layer. People went and data mined for Mewtwo, Bulbasaur, all these things. People were opening up and getting these free the random trades. They were opening up these Pokemon. Some people, they're like, oh, you know, I got this new Pokemon, cool, and they'd go to battle with it, and someone's like, hey, wait a minute, this Pokemon's not out yet. This account's banned.
Because I remember someone in Splatoon 2 actually hacked their way to the top of the leaderboard and said, ban me, I'm a hacker, basically. Just to prove a point, because apparently their security is so bad.
Well, when there's a will, there's a way, right? And someone just hacked freaking Ninja's Twitter account today, and that was freaking hilarious.
I mean, hackers are everywhere.
They're going to do what they're going to do, yeah.
Right.
It's like, hackers will hack anywhere. It's Nintendo just has a lot of prized possessions, so it's like when they get hacked, it hits harder, hits the news harder. But Sony gets hacked, Microsoft gets hacked, everyone gets hacked these days. So it just looks really bad when Nintendo does it, because Nintendo has the better games, in first-party games rather.
Well, I think it hits them harder because they say that you can't have cloud backups because then there would be hackers involved.
It disables their reasoning.
It's
you
like
got people want to prove a point.
Well, if it's already like bad to them at this point, though, how much worse would it be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know, like, I'm not really like trying to defend them, but I can understand, like, if people are already able to find a way now, it's not as many, but it's still bad. Like, look what a few can do to like make people like not want to play the game. Like people in my chat today and yesterday were saying like they aren't playing Pokemon right now because they can't play online.
Well, they're doing that because they're fearful of being banned, right? Is the big thing.
Or getting your account shut down because you encounter something you weren't supposed to encounter.
I'm just trying to wonder what would be so bad in Animal Crossing that people would be concerned about inviting people in. That's
Animal
what I'm trying
Crossing
to piece
isn't
together.
A competitive game.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's no real there's no esport or anything.
Well, there's no direct competition, but like there's that jealousy complex of seeing someone with all the stuff that you want. If you ever go to their island, it's a low level bullshit thing. But like,
can they duplicate it? Because we're good, you know?
Yeah, because then you can just get it.
What if the game just comes out and some dude has like all this crap and he's sitting here showing it online and putting? No, I don't want that. I don't care if it's not.
Can he duplicate it? Because
I don't want
my best friend.
Drop him some DMs.
I'm not trying to have that. You gotta earn it, man. And the developers don't want that either. The developers don't want, like, don't get me wrong. I want there should be a normal way to save files, like, and I want that. But that doesn't mean just because it's single player that therefore you can have all this crap and cheat the game and do all that stuff.
There were some things that people were mentioning, like they were actively trying to send suggestions to Nintendo, like this is how you should do it. Have it so that it checks the time against your server time and all of this stuff. Like have it so that there's ways to involve Mr. Rossetti as the person that helps you back your stuff up, and like do all kinds of things to like one person suggested that every time you do that, you recover it, it adds like a minute to the time you sit there and Mr. Rossetti like talks to you for a while, so you end up with like an hour-long time of him talking to you to get your save back if you try to abuse it. I feel like there has to be some way to make it work. And Nintendo's doing something with it, so
I hope it ends up working out, to be honest, because it is frustrating. I totally get it.
For people who say it's not frustrating, I feel like it will be if your Switch is lost or stolen or something happens.
Well, they'll have the one time, or now they're not sure how many times they'll let you use its recovery feature. But like I put on Twitter and people say, "Oh, this is first world entitlement." Like, if I have a docked Switch that I just primarily use docked, play it on my TV, and I have a Switch Lite that I take on the go, and I want to play Animal Crossing docked when I'm home, and I want to play it on my Lite on the go, I can't do that. Yeah. And people say, well, that shouldn't be like that's not that big of a deal. No. Why would you argue against having more options in a game that should have that type of option? Like, great, Nintendo designed the game with this very weird, they designed the game with this in mind, and now they're saying, oh yeah, we didn't think that. Like, they're trying to sell you a Switch Lite, and there might be times you want to play Animal Crossing on your TV. And they're just saying, well, decide which one you're going to use the most, I guess. Sorry.
It is weird because they want to sell you more systems with them that the method of save in Animal Crossing goes against using more systems or getting another system.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
Well, it goes against their vision of, people say, well, just take your regular Switch and take it on the go with you. Yes, many people will do that. I don't care if the percent who are impacted by this is only 2% of all Animal Crossing players. The fact is, Nintendo should have had a local transfer solution available at launch. The fact that the Direct and their website has to say it's coming eventually.
I don't think they had it ready. I don't think they were even thinking about it at one point until people started bringing it up. That's what I think.
And that's bad planning. How did they not think this?
I don't think, because the game looks so high quality. And then they're just like, oh, people might want to back the save up. Like, I don't know how that wasn't on a whiteboard at some point in planning with like the leaves on the trees sway and stuff falls from it. It's like that, like there's so much detail and then they don't think about this. It's strange to me. But we'll see what happens. They still have another month. We'll see if they have it ready by launch to have some kind of message by then.
Hopefully they at least have a time window where they say, oh, we hope to have this feature available by, September. Like, yeah, that's 6 months away, but at least we have an idea of when we'll have this basic feature that should have been there at launch. Because I don't see how they could have gone into this Direct, given an answer, taken the trailer down, changed the text in it.
That was so weird. Yeah.
You're not even consistent with the message you're trying to put to reassure people that you are working on a solution. It's really weird handling.
That very easily could have been something like they put it out, they thought it was okay and approved in Nintendo America, and then Japan was like, excuse me, no, you gotta change it, and they're like, oh crap, take it down. It could be something literally as silly as that.
That does sound like the confusion between Nintendo America and Japan.
Yes, literally.
I agree with you, but I would flip those around.
Oh gosh. That is such a strange thing with the Nintendo. Evan, do we have any other Discord questions to go over other than the Atlus one, which we can go over when we get to the final topic?
We did. I could sidestep. We were talking about Sony earlier, so let's do that one. Does Sony's patent with regard to AI assist in game, including microtransactions, concern anyone?
Oh gosh, yeah, that was an interesting. Did everyone see that patent from Sony where they had it so that the AI assistant would suggest microtransactions if need be for a part in a game that could be too difficult for you?
What? No.
Yeah, like let's say Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you're playing it and because that game actually has experience booster. Let's say you're getting beaten up real bad, it could say, hey, if you want your experience to go up faster, go to the store page right here and you can buy this experience booster.
And if you sync it to if you sync your card to it, it'll most likely do what Amazon does with the one-click buy and just be like, just say purchase and I'll do it.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. Yeah, that's it, the AI assistant, of course, that seems to be happening in the PS5. Apparently, that's one of the things that's happening. That is like next level. Like Activision, that sounds like something I figured Activision would come up with.
Right.
And they may have something like that ready to go for an AI assistant.
As long as there's an option to turn off the AI assist.
Well, the word is that the controller would have a microphone built into it right on the back. Or even right on the front, even. Like if you look at your PS4 controller where that PlayStation button would be, or that speaker, right there is a microphone. The Stadia controller has a microphone on the back.
The what?
The Stadia controller. Yeah, Stadia controller.
They're listening.
Yeah.
How is Stadia doing?
Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, the one thing I'll give them credit for is their controller is actually decent, and that's the one good thing out of Stadia. Everything else is terrible.
Good to know.
They keep announcing games that are coming out, but like they're not actually releasing.
Nothing like they're not releasing anything. Nothing crazy either.
Like they released the Serious Sam games. Oh, sorry, they announced the Serious Sam games, but they're like coming soon. It's like Serious Sam.
They did the same thing with Panzer Dragoon, and I'm like, everyone's gonna want that game physically. What? It's like, all right.
I feel like Stadia is kind of the modern Wii U, where they're like, we have games coming, we promise. And then it's just like 4 months later, and you finally get a game. You're like, oh yeah, I own this thing.
Wow.
Yeah, but
The only difference is they're never going to get a good first party.
No, they formed their studio like when they announced Stadia. And it's like, all right, we'll see them in 3 years, I guess.
Yeah, they did some pretty good PR work throwing the other companies under the bus about the announcement, so it was good.
Oh yeah, how wild is that? If you're that studio and you're like, I don't know if Stadia's gonna be around, do we just like kill time for the next 3 years and not actually do anything? Like, oh man, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to try to pump a game out in like a year and a half. That could be ugly. Let's go over to this is a fun one because OJ can actually help us out with the Smash part of this. You probably saw this, OJ. Ed Boon once like Scorpion in Smash Bros.
A Mortal Kombat character.
A Mortal Kombat. Scorpion's his favorite character, right? So he's like, oh, let's do Scorpion.
Or Sub-Zero. I don't know if they do, because like we were talking about that. I don't know if they do Scorpion.
Sub-Zero probably easier, right?
Sub-Zero would be easier. Or Liu Kang. Yeah, Sub-Zero or Liu Kang, like one of those two. Would be just because of some of the moveset that they have. I mean, Scorpion, he throws a spear.
He immediately impales you.
Yeah, and like Nintendo has something like that, but it's from like a big it's Ridley. Ridley does a move very similar to something like that. He impales you with his
down B, I think tail. It is.
Yeah. And like you just like drop to the ground. Like he just like impales you and you drop to the ground. But he's a big beast. This is this is like a person, so nobody in Smash has any. Yeah, nobody in Smash has anything like that, you know? So I don't know if they'd want to do that.
What about Kung Lao?
The problem with Kung Lao is that Kung Lao, his hat, it's like a razor blade thing. Like, you know, like when you hit people in Kung Lao, he like digs into them with that.
But do they have to show the blood? Can it just be like an energy thing that he just throws?
I mean, it could be like energy. Like Bayonetta.
I know Bayonetta takes off her clothes when she attacks and stuff, but she's still
covered.
Like, it's different because she's fighting demons. You got to look at it from the source material, right? She's fighting demons in that game. It's a bit different. So that's what I'm telling you. They look at these things.
She's actually fighting angels. Okay, get it right.
Yeah, angels, and she's fighting both. Yeah.
So they do Liu Kang and then Kung Lao as an Echo Fighter.
That'll be dope.
But because they're both in Shaolin monks together.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Yeah, but their specific movesets are different enough that wouldn't work out.
That'd be different enough.
I think they just do Liu Kang or Sub-Zero because those ones, they don't use any type of attacks that are like too disgusting. You know
what? Shang Tsung. How about Shang Tsung?
That'd be too hard to do because he transforms into other people, right?
That'd be cool though.
But only for a bit of time. Like Kirby does a bit of the same. So how about just for a period of time?
Yeah, I just don't know if that would work, to be honest. But maybe they do it. Because Shang Tsung, he transforms completely into the other person, so he'd have their moveset. That would be a really cool fighter to have. It'd be kind of OP, especially in 4 players when you can transform into anybody. But like,
there had to be a limiter on that. If they put a good limiter on that, that'd be pretty cool.
I still think Scorpion. I still think Scorpion's just the most iconic character in Mortal Kombat. So if like you're gonna get somebody, I feel like you make him work somehow.
Yeah, they can make it work. They can he throws the spear and it hits you with it. I mean, okay.
Yes, I think Sakurai could do it, right? They gave Joker a gun. He just pulls out a gun and shoots you. So.
I mean, Fox shoots you with a laser. Technically, that should hurt if you look at Jedi Fallen Order. So.
Yeah, like I said, I think it comes from source material. That's where the issue comes from. It's like when he does his attacks, who's it against? Not so more of the attack itself. Joker has a gun, but he's shooting all sorts of weird things. You know what I'm saying? Bayonetta has a gun too. She's shooting that. Whereas, Mortal Kombat, you're against other humans. You know what I'm saying? Or against other people, and like it. So I think it's source material a little bit where they'd have some issues. I mean, they didn't even put Mai in the game. I mean, like just because.
Yeah, I mean, I will give them credit. They did make Mortal Kombat versus DC work with it. Like even at that time, I couldn't believe they got a teen rating on it. So I bet you Sakurai could probably pull one character from there.
People hated that.
Yeah, but I mean, Smash doesn't have like fatalities or anything anyway, so they wouldn't even have to work that in.
Smash that time when the Smash was a teen rated. What that was Brawl, right? When it was teen rated.
Brawl
was team rated, yeah.
Brawl was, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Because of Snake. Somehow. I think Snake was the
Snake was the deciding factor.
Yeah, Snake was the issue.
Snake and not Metal Suit Samus?
Man.
Zero Suit Samus?
Zero Suit, my bad.
No, I think it was Snake. I think it was Snake as the smoking and the rocket launcher, Nikita. So
let's see. Let's go over to super chats here. We'll start here. Young OJ said, did you guys play any sports when you were younger?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. What did you say? Yes, Evan?
Yeah.
What'd you play?
A lot of basketball in middle school and high school.
Nice. In high school?
Right. Yeah.
What position?
We were the shitty team. Like, I'm not good at it, so we were just the shitty team. So it was just anywhere really on the court.
Go out there. Just go out there. Turn the ball off.
It was just something to do, something to move around with. It was either that or the weight room. It was one of the two. So
I did track and cross country, and football, but street football. So no teams. That's it.
What'd you play, John?
I played soccer and tennis. I played soccer for like half my life.
You look like a
tennis makes sense.
I like that. I did tennis because that was
yeah, I can see tennis.
Tennis is a sport you can play for a while. So we did tennis. Went down to Florida for that too.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
soccer, we went all over. I mean, I played soccer for like half my life, so that was good. I think we won one championship maybe. But we went around for that too. But that was I remember our high school football was good when we got there, and then by the time we left, it was terrible. So,
what did you play, OJ?
I was football.
Yeah.
We're all going around to everyone. Miss Click, what did you play?
I did soccer and then track and field.
Hey, don't sleep on soccer. Soccer's fun.
Soccer takes endurance.
I played soccer. Basketball. I played baseball in high school and college. I was actually scouted for baseball. I played, well, as far as football, I played, like street football. I played Muckle. One of the kids I did play with he did play for the NFL. He played for the Colts until he completely destroyed his knee. And now he's I think he's crippled.
Sounds like football to me.
Yeah, average football.
Sounds completely like football to me.
Muckle was great. He just picked up the ball and got destroyed until he dropped the damn thing.
Gosh. Let's go over to Spencer says, why don't more companies implement cross save? Seems like an easy way to encourage double dipping, especially for Switch. I think maybe because like how we had Witcher 3, which got the cross save, and MVG, do you see that Witcher 3 patch yet?
Yes.
I think that's what they're referring to, because that has cross save for Steam. But it has that graphics option menu that you already knew about. You talked about that forever ago.
Yep.
But that appears to be available now somewhat, like a sharpening and some other stuff added in. But I think that's a great idea for the Switch if you have cross save for Steam and like a game like Witcher 3. Civilization did it as well on the Switch. I know that. But yeah, because there's a lot of PC gamers that I'm sure would be like, yeah, I'll move my save over to the Switch and I'll take that with me when I leave.
Well, I feel like that's company side, because like where are they pulling the save from? It's got to be from a company server. It's not going to be from Nintendo's servers. So the company's going to have to set it up.
I think it's something. I think it's Steam. It's Steam Cloud, right? Steam does their own cloud saves. I think it pulls from that because it's Steam crossplay. But GOG was also used for Witcher 3 as well, so you could do Steam or GOG. You just pull your save back and forth, which is, that's a neat idea. So I think more companies should do it, but there's probably logistics and other things involved. But it definitely makes it more interesting, I think, to more people if you can move it back and forth. Melvin says, at Direct Feed Games, I would gladly watch that Animal Crossing ASMR channel.
That's right.
And then right away, Cornelia says, do a Doom ASMR.
Oh, dude, that'd be solid.
That would also work.
That would be interesting.
Do you turn down like all the sound and music and stuff going? Like you just turn the music off completely, right?
I would say the music, and it's just like head splitting and
it's just you
skulls in.
Well, could I do like a heavy metal guy? I could just whoa.
No, it's just you narrating super calm, right?
But just do it so when you start to narrate, the game sound cuts,
demon,
and then you're just like talking.
So I guess can't be like, here's a demon. I just shot his head off with a shotgun. Blood splattered everywhere. That's a very delicious sight.
We're going to stop here to reflect on his family, the children.
Like,
will not
look at his eyes as the bullet entered his brain, and you just see sheer sadness as he realized, my hellish life is about to end. Let's pity this poor soul as he goes to the eternal hell, which is the afterlife, where his dark lord is no longer there to protect him from the Doomslayer.
This is from Mana Entertainment saying, anyone buying Sony's BS don't believe Ondor's lies? I don't
Shut
know.
up. What the hell is that stupid character from Final Fantasy 12?
Vaughn?
No, the other one. The guy was like, is it Vaughn? He's like, I'm something Ashenberg. That guy. He's the one who keeps saying that.
Okay. Blue Bolt with one of those cool little stickers, actually. So when did YouTube start doing that? That's kind of neat.
Like at the
Was
end
it a while ago?
Mid to end of last year.
Oh gosh. Okay. Wishbone says PS5 reveal September 24th, Tokyo Game Show. Wow, if they wait that long.
Jeez. They may have missed their window if they wait that long.
They're not going to wait that long. That's because they'd want pre-orders to start midsummer, I assume.
Definitely.
Like around E3 time, they'd at least want pre-orders to get kicked off. How about that, Nate? When's the absolute latest you think that they reveal the PS5?
Absolute latest?
Yeah, like the latest. What's the latest you think they can go? They just said September 24th, Tokyo Game Show. I don't think it's going to be that late.
I would say the absolute latest, if their intention is a November launch, would be June.
That's what I figured, around E3 time, yeah. Pedroka says no salty Sean today. No, Sean's he's at a party watching the fight tonight. Hero says would rather have Jet Set Radio Future from Sega. Skylar, where's the physical copy of Cuphead for the Switch? I think it was last E3 it was announced. Yeah, they were going to do a physical copy for the Switch and an actual physical copy for the Xbox, not just a code in the box. I don't know. Weren't they partnering with... They were partnering with somebody, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I don't remember what the partner was, but it seems like there's probably been some delays for whatever the reason is. But it's probably coming at some point. You know, maybe you'll get an announcement, at a direct or something. I'm not really sure. So we'll see. Mr.
Job says, Nate, the AC date. The Animal Crossing date?
That was on February 20th.
Okay.
I think it's like a joke. It's like Nate, the AC date. Like it's like rhymes, you know? Nice. Sounds nice.
For your ASMR stuff?
Oh, that? I guess March 20th.
I mean, like that Nate, the AC date.
That's the channel name. That's so good.
There you go. We're in. There you go. Are you going to do a whole new channel, Nate, or are you just going to do it all in direct feed?
That's the challenge. If I make a whole new channel, I have to wait to get it monetized. If I just make it a playlist on direct feed games.
What if it was a playlist on Nate the Hate? That would be the best.
I can't put it on Nate the Hate.
Come on.
I could put it on that.
Just do it.
I would make a new channel, Nate.
I know. I kind of want to call it just like Animal Crossing ASMR.
We'll call him 3-channel Nate.
Go for
it's a series on your channel, yeah.
Yeah. It could last. It could take a while. I mean, people still play New Leaf now, so there you go.
I have a feeling this could actually work out incredibly well.
Probably watch it work out, and like Nate comes on here like a year from now. It's like this gold play button's heavier than I thought it would be.
Also, I'll be like Nintendo's E3 Direct, and I'll just be narrating an Animal Crossing trailer, and people are like, "Wait a minute, I know that hateful bastard."
Incompletist, the new member. Thanks for joining up. Appreciate it. Nintendo, this is from Core Sonic, says Nintendo needs to bring Ocarina of Time to Switch or Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask to Switch.
They need to bring them all over, but yes, I agree.
Yes.
Big collection, like the GameCube collection. Do that. How we had like that with like all the old ones. Do that.
Definitely Majora's Mask.
Yeah. Kiro says get Vinny or Joel Vinesauce on.
That'd be crazy.
I think we were at a convention with him at one point. Sean and I were. I think that was in Long Island, maybe retro one year.
Really?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Patrick says 3D remake Earthbound. I don't. What does that mean, Nate?
That's like one of those games. I feel like you're just better off kind of leaving alone.
You're concerned that people would be unhappy with what was done to it, like the fans.
Yeah, like the fans are just never going to accept any changes made.
Well, we've already understood at this point that Mother 3 can't exist. Like,
yeah, that's
well,
never
outside.
happening.
Yeah, we've learned this with recent events that it's probably just never going to happen.
Mother 3 is never happening unless they
after what I've seen on the internet over the last month. It can't happen apparently. So
nope.
All right. Is Sony? This is from Matthew saying, is Sony not attending PAX East because Microsoft has not announced the price of Xbox Series X and is delaying info until this happens?
The conspiracy theories have already come out.
I will say I have noticed that people looking for a deep, like a hidden deep meaning over why Sony is just not going to PAX East.
It might just be as simple as
it's not that deep. Yeah, it's not that deep.
I do think that it's strategic for Sony not to go to E3 because of the pricing and the parts and trying to not like remember what I feel like Sony looked at what they did to Microsoft in 2013 and they're like, we'll announce ours when we're ready. We're not going to go on after Microsoft or worry about any of that.
I mean, like Sony is weird.
Sometimes I'll watch a video of like an influencer that comes back from a convention and they're like, oh my God, I'm so sick. I got the convention bug. They always talk about the convention bug. So, I mean, why would Sony put themselves in that situation? I get it. I get it.
Swag says Animal Crossing Direct is no smash. Because I assume that's for Animal Crossing Direct, no smash. If I think during the Animal Crossing Direct, I saw this on Twitter. People were screenshotting people asking if there was a Smash character supposed to be there or something.
People legitimately thought they were either going to reveal something new for Smash at the end or something completely random. Like, we're so spoiled. We just think Nintendo's going to freaking like throw something in at the end.
What? People joking around. It's more of a joke.
Wow.
No. There were genuinely some people actually upset. Yeah,
that has to just be trolling. It can't.
Yeah, that's gotta be trolling.
Have you ever just like, has it ever crossed your mind that maybe there's some people out there that are not that smart?
No, have you ever listened to the MVG and Nate the Hate obsession with Nintendo Direct video?
Yeah, it's like
listen to that.
I think it's a killer thumbnail.
It does have a killer thumbnail.
The thumbnail, oh my God.
that was hilarious.
That thumbnail was great.
Oh man. Ice says, has anyone tried the aim track light gun, and do you want light guns to come back next gen? You know, I liked light guns back when they first started up because it was just new cool thing, but I feel like they never evolved that much for me. I don't know. I mean, we used to have to do the pass through for the yellow, remember that? And that worked well enough, but
they've never really figured out the tech since CRTs kind of went away. I mean, there's been some good attempts at it. And isn't it like Virtua or House of the Dead's coming out at some point for the Switch?
That'll be interesting.
So I don't really know how that's going to work without a light gun, but
I guess it'd just be maybe just center the aim at the start and then just
it's going to be gyro aiming. You're going to see the cursor specifically.
Yeah. I don't see how Forever Entertainment's really going to approach that game.
I just wish Time Crisis had gone to the next level, like as the generations progressed, but. Matthew Hammond says, what's next for Animal Crossing? The villagers raise your house. You know what would be next thing for Animal Crossing is where you take Tom Nook's spot.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So you basically are the Animal Crossing mafia.
Like by force, you just pop in, just take them out.
Nah. When the next step have to be like, I think it'd be cool to do like an MMO of some sort. I'd love that. That'd be fun.
Maybe they expand on the online stuff and go.
Yeah, once they get the save state stuff figured out, though.
Interesting.
So like never.
Hey, well, at that point, it's linked to a server, so
yeah,
everything's server side then, right?
They just gotta, do servers now.
AI. Oh, this is from Andrew saying AI assist going to be Microsoft's DRM fail of this gen. I don't know. I wonder if it'll get. I don't think it'll get that bad because people will see the AI assist as being helpful, and then they'll kind of work those little things in there where it's like, hey, look at this look at this skin that you keep looking at. How about you check it out again? You just got paid, right? Here's that skin you were looking at before.
We can see your bank account. We know you have money.
I'm telling you, everything's gonna be linked up, and it's gonna be like that direct deposit went through. Here's that skin, that Fortnite skin for $5 you're checking out. Jalen says anyone who is a fighting game fan needs to pick up Under Night In Birth. CLR just bought the game, and I can definitely see the hype with this game.
It is a great game.
Very nice.
Played that. I played it on the PS4, the previous version. Playing it on the Switch right now.
Okay. Very nice.
It's a good game. No one's going to play it, but.
And then Dark Type says, what colors or patterns would you guys like to see for the upcoming PS5 and Xbox Series X? Not necessarily game centric. Well, we see this, the Series X is just black with the green kind of accent on the top, sort of with the fan, right? I assume. Yeah. Well, I assume that the I don't even know what. Okay. The PlayStation 5, I assume, is just going to be. I mean, it'll just probably be black with like a touch of blue somewhere. Is what I assume it'll be. But
I mean, what's the blue on the PS4? It's just the light, right?
I like the idea of them doing an RGB light on the front. Like, so you can change to whatever color you want. Like that, I mean, that'd be fun. I don't know. It'd be neat to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would cost that much more to do it, but something like that would be great. But they're gonna want to do special editions and all this stuff, so I get they probably won't. But that's what I was hoping, that Xbox was like a RGB light at the top. But it looks like it's just a green fan that you can kind of see through and kind of see it. But it's what would I like to see? I don't know. I guess more of like I like the red PS4 Pro that I have here. That's Spider-Man with Spider-Man on the top, but something like that I would be okay with.
I like the Crimson Metal Gear Solid PS4.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one's nice.
That's nice.
I like how you used crimson.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about getting the Spider-Man PS4, but then I just said I can't get a Pro yet.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. The top is glossy, but then the other part is like matte red, so it's really strange when you look at it head on.
Did anyone get to look? Did anyone get to look at the Death Stranding one? Because that one looked cool. The white black.
The one that had all the handprints over it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The controller threw me off because it was like yellow and it was like.
Yeah, I mean the controller threw me off. I like the actual look of the box. The one I didn't really like, which I was really sad about because I was hoping it would be really beautiful, was the God of War one. I personally couldn't care for that one, like the look of the axe and everything.
Oh yeah.
And the color scape, yeah. Like if it was just like runes or something, like that'd be really cool. But I don't know.
I'll say the Kingdom Hearts 3 one, despite the game not being the best for me, I'll say that PS4 Pro looked pretty cool.
I'm not into the systems as much. I like controllers. I think like controllers are cool, like when you have like a special edition controllers. But I don't know. It's just like a system that sits there, so I'm always like, it looks cool to have it. But I mean, if you have certain entertainment systems that cover it up, or it's just not, I don't know. I've never
Well, what about like the new Animal Crossing Switch? Did you not like get tempted possibly?
No, it's cool. I mean, I bought it because I'm probably just gonna give it away.
Okay.
I'm probably just gonna give it away. But
Give it to me.
I bought it, but I don't know. I'm just not. I guess I'm not crazy. I mean, like when I got my PS4 Pro, it's not like I could have got different options. I was like, just give me the normal one. You know, I was going to just get the normal PS4 Pro. You know.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I am. I don't give a damn what the box looks like. It's a box. It's gonna sit in my entertainment center. Put a disc in it, and that's it. I'm a beautiful box.
Yeah, you are. I have no idea what you look like, but we'll go with it.
I look like every week we go over this.
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
I didn't even know who this man is.
It's because you're 10.
It's Snape. Come on.
I'm 12. Thank you.
12 and a half.
All right, so let's talk about OJ's favorite topic here. And
my favorite company?
Yes, your favorite company. And that's Sega and a little bit Atlus, but definitely Sega.
My two favorite companies, actually.
Okay.
Very profitable, intelligent companies, by the way.
Well, they made some headlines right at the start of this past week, actually, almost to the point where people have kind of forgotten about it already because, you know, I've moved to the next week and the next week. But it seems that during an event, and it was interesting because IGN asked them, it wasn't like they didn't just bring it up. IGN said, hey, how about Persona 5 on the Switch? And it appears that the communications manager for Atlus US says to never give up hope for Persona coming to the Switch.
It kind of ties in with the Discord question, which is, do you think we'll see a Kickstarter from Atlus for Persona 5 on the Switch? Because it's an older title that might not sell well.
Jordan would be laughing right now if he was on this podcast. All right. Okay. For some reason, OJ, they're asking once again, because I know you've covered this pretty extensively. They're asking once again if Switch owners would want Persona on the Switch, or ask for Persona on the Switch.
Switch owners do not want Persona on the Switch.
What? Why?
Wait, what?
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Atlus, this is the most ridiculous thing that I've seen from a company that's supposedly that's owned by Sega, like a multi-million-dollar company with the type of stature and Sega's had. This is pitiful. This reminds me why they went out of business. This reminds me why they went out of the console business, because of these decisions like this and because of the type of thought process that they have when looking at what their consumers want. They can't figure out Sonic, can't figure out what people want with that, and now they're sitting there asking people for the past 3 years, whether they want Persona and want Shin Megami Tensei and older games. Like, have you not been looking at the landscape of the industry? People are doing remakes, remasters, and ports, and you're asking people this. Like, seriously, are we at that point now? This is why they don't make any profit. This is why they're having trouble with profits. This is why they're struggling, because they have to sit there and ask if this is a good idea. Like, think about this for a second, guys. Meanwhile, Square Enix, Bandai Namco, Koei Tecmo, and every other Japanese company that has any little bit of sense has multiple games on the Nintendo Switch, multiple remasters or old school classic types of games on the system. I don't understand what Sega is doing. And like I said, this is the reason why Sega is in trouble with their profits and just basically not making stuff. They sit there and say games are underperforming, and then they only release on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, they said that recently in the same quarter that we had Persona 5 Royal Edition release, that they said that they had underperformed for them.
I don't understand. They take forever to get Yakuza on Xbox, and only I think it was like
I think Microsoft went and did it, like they actually went to Japan to get it figured out.
Yeah, they went there and got it to get it figured out. But I mean, it's just I find it that why would a company like Sega have to sit there and ask, do you not know your fan base? Do you not know what they want? Atlus, and I find this stupid because Atlus made all sorts of portable games. You know, they don't have the Vita. They don't have the Vita anymore. They made all sorts of portable games on the DS and 3DS. So I don't understand why this is even a question being brought up outside of fake advertising and more publicity for their current game that they're trying to resell for $60.
I'm actually surprised that Falcom came around faster than
they didn't.
Well, I mean, they're doing Trails.
Better than Atlus?
NIS America is forcing that to happen.
Then should Sega then get Atlus to start pushing more towards the Switch for that?
That's where we have the ever lying cloud above the head of, is there an exclusive deal between Sony and Atlus with the Persona mainline RPG series?
But wouldn't it have, like, this is the weirdest part about this. You figure if there was one, you would have had someone find out that there is one and report it.
Not if it's made. Japanese contract deals are a lot better than like America, where they find out about it 5 seconds after it's signed. Is
it possible that even Atlus US doesn't necessarily know the extent of that?
Considering Atlus's US's statement of never give up hope, they're very much out of the loop of what Atlus Japan is doing.
That seems kind of concerning.
And that's the thing. If this was just about them wanting to make money and there was no deal whatsoever to speak of, I think Atlus would be very open to bringing the games to the Switch. We're seeing them bring Catherine according to the Korean ratings board. So why wouldn't they bring something as prestigious as the Persona franchise to the Switch if they wanted to sell more copies, make more money? But it's never happening. It always seems there's something preventing it, and that's likely Sony has the exclusive deal to it. And even when in Japan they asked, like, what about Switch owners who haven't played Persona 5? What's your answer to them when they're going to play Persona 5 Scramble? And Atlus Japan said, buy the manga and watch the anime. So that's basically them saying, you're not getting the game. You want to find out about the story? Watch our show and buy our product.
Can I say this too just real quick? But they're not even, so is there an exclusive deal for the lifetime of Persona? Because Persona mainline has only been on PlayStation. So what about, like, yes, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case with Persona 5. But where is the remaster or remake for Persona 3? Where is Persona 4? Where is Persona 1? Where's Persona 2?
That's
where are
the
these
thing.
Where's Shin Megami Tensei? Where's the older Shin Megami Tensei game?
Yeah.
You can't sit here and tell me it's not a good idea to bring at least one or two of those over at some
let's get Digital Devil Saga back up here.
If they were smart, like, I'd love to see the PSP versions of 3 and 2 and 1 all come over to the Switch, because those are good games that haven't been re-released since the PSP.
So it's bad. It's not just. I don't think it's just, exclusivity. It's bad decision making, in my opinion. And then you're complaining about profits. You're complaining about profits, and you're asking consumers, well, what do you want to play it on? And yet you're complaining, and everyone's been telling you the same thing for 3 years. They've been running these surveys for 3 years. They've done nothing. And look, Koei Tecmo ran a survey. What do you guys want to play? In terms, they put out a bunch of anime, right? They had a Hunter x Hunter on there. They had Fairy Tail. They had everything, and this is in the same time frame. People voted. And a Fairy Tail game is being made. Hunter x Hunter missed out just by a smidge. So, and that was in the same time frame. And we're getting a Fairy Tail game on the Switch and the PlayStation 4. This is Gust and Koei Tecmo compared to Sega here. There's an issue here, because we're filling out the same surveys and they're not doing shit. They're just saying, here's surveys. They're doing nothing with it.
I think it's a little different now because they lost the PSP and the Vita now. Like they don't have that for like a portable version like Persona 4 Gold, and that actually did pretty well. That did really well on the Vita.
It was like the Vita's best sell. It was pretty much the Vita's must-own game.
I mean, it's a very good game. Yeah.
It's an excellent game, and that's where I feel like if Atlus wasn't stuck to Sony for whatever reason, we would have seen Persona 5 Royal, we would have seen Persona 4 Golden come to the Switch by now. And the fact that we're just not seeing any progress on this front suggests to me that there has to be some unknown deal made between these two companies.
That is an old deal, though. Like
so
OJ was saying,
spans all the way back to Persona 3.
They must
I've never heard of this
they're continually renewing it, or that's where I wish somebody could actually find out exactly what is going on here. Just if we ever could find out, like, oh, Atlus and Sony signed a 100-year contract for the Persona mainline franchise, we can at least finally like put the topic to rest, because we say, now we know.
That's the whole thing. I think everyone's trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that they have an exclusivity deal, but no one can really tell, because we're just like, maybe Sega and Atlus are just like that bad at running this kind of thing.
Sega was stupid enough not to bring Shenmue 1 and 2 to the Switch.
They still haven't done that. That's surprising, actually, now I think about it.
I mean, I think it's just sad that all these companies want to, because we see this all the time. Every year we see at least one company say, we want to poll people to put games on the Switch. And it's beyond me, because the Switch is highly successful. So why are we asking people to say, hey, do you want this game on the Switch? It's easy. Just like put the game out there and people are going to buy it. If it's a successful game, because Persona 5, correct me if I'm wrong, OJ, but isn't, and for those of you who play the game, isn't Persona 5 one of the best rated RPGs of this generation? Why not put that on the Switch? It's like asking, do you want to put Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch?
Yeah, but it's like not. I mean, even if they had an exclusive deal with Sony, like they're not remastering Persona 4, or they're not like, where's the remaster for Persona 4? It's been how many years? It's on the Vita. Where's the remaster for Persona 4? Well, okay, fine. We don't even see Persona 4 on the PS3. There was no remaster for the game on there. There's no remaster on the PS4 either. There's no remaster. Like they're not doing anything. That's my issue. Even if it's like, we want to stay Sony, fine, but they're not even working with what they've got there. If you want to play Persona, you got to play on the PSP or play on the Vita or whatever the case is, like the older ones. Like they're not even working with what they're not doing anything. They've just been doing Persona 5 for the past like decade. Like it's just been like Persona 5 forever. Oh, by the way, you want to play the Royal content? Oh, buy the game again, by the way. It's not an expansion, but buy the game. Buy the game again so you can play the Royal content. Okay. Sure. Why not?
I mean, if there's a deal, I feel like, especially now, because I think people are looking at it as like the obvious move and they won't do it. I feel like now you're going to see people really look and try to figure out if they can find out information on a deal that's in place.
Go digging, chat. Go digging.
I'm talking about like if like Kotaku or Jason Schreier comes across.
I don't think anyone would ever uncover enough that they could actually say with definitive proof that there's a deal. Because, I mean, this has been the situation for years now, and it's just the belief. It's the assumption, like, there has to be, because otherwise it seems like the series should have sprouted and spread elsewhere. And
well, yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, for the PS4 was big enough to where people are like, okay, I mean, they're not going to put it on the Xbox because, like, The Xbox has no presence in Japan. They probably won't work on that. 3DS had Persona Q and Persona Q2 now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, now I think about it, I mean, what would it have gone to otherwise? Would they put it on the Wii U? Would that have been it? Yeah, but that's what I mean. Now, like, this is really, that I can remember, the first time it's really been brought up to where they're like,
but that's where even if they wanted just to port like Persona 4 to the Switch, they could have by now. They didn't have to like immediately jump to 5. They could have taken 2, 3, 4, released the trilogy on the Switch, and Sato said, we're going to introduce you to the franchise. We have plans for 5. Like, even to bring Persona 5 Scramble to the Switch, it's at least something, but it's also one of those franchises, kind of like that Persona 4 Arena game that they came to the Xbox 360, because it's not that mainline RPG. They'll put it wherever.
Well, when do you think? How long do you think until Persona 6 gets revealed?
Dear God,
like a long time, right? It's gonna be a while.
They'll reveal it soon. Then it'll come out 10 years later. Actually, it'll be revealed soon. Like, but within the next couple of years.
But there's a chance. What I'm saying, there's a chance they reveal Persona 6. All right, and the Switch has like 80, 90 million.
Well, they might finally have that first game they announced for the Switch, back in January 2017, come to the Switch. What was that name of game? Because I think Atlus even forgot.
Oh man, when is that supposed to happen?
I feel like every year they're like, we're gonna have an update for you soon.
They announced that thing way too early. Oh man,
that was announced but that's Atlus though. They've done that time and time again. They'll announce stuff way too early. They did it with Persona 5, but then like the PS4 kind of threw a wrench into their Persona 5 plans because like they had to get it on both systems.
Yeah.
But like how they announced stuff with Persona 5 like Royal, like how they that just announcements of announcements. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just weird marketing type of thing. This is I don't know what type of type of marketing it is, but this is just kind of what Atlus does, which is like that's fine.
Anxious. This was through Streamlabs. Says big fan of the cast. Recently, a lot of Twitter users are saying the new update that Animal Crossing is now basically just a Harvest Moon reskin. My opinion, until you can force your chicken. Oh, okay, I see. In their opinion, you can force your chicken neighbors basically until you get to a point where you're actually farming like you do in Harvest Moon is when it becomes a Harvest Moon game. And it's not a Harvest Moon reskin because you're not actually like farming in the game.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Wouldn't you make more of a correlation to Stardew Valley to Harvest Moon, if anything? Isn't there more cropping and farming in Stardew Valley than there is in Animal Crossing?
Well, Stardew Valley has that, and it has more of the adventure aspect and also relationship aspect you have as well. Stardew Valley, like you do with Animal Crossing, with your different villagers around you.
Yeah.
But Harvest Moon has more like of the economy involved, where you're trying to sell crops and all of that.
Gotcha.
Jeff Burns says, when I was in high school, I would play football for the sole reason to get into half shape so I could get to 260 because 275 was the wrestling weight limit. By the way, I was 250 in 7th grade, in case you were wondering.
Big boy.
Big boy.
There you go. Evan, we have Discord questions?
Thoughts on a banjo-like game featuring Wario and Waluigi?
I have wondered if we ever will get a Waluigi game, just Waluigi. Like, just
let him die.
Will he ever get his own game?
Why would someone say that? That's gotta be a joke. That's gotta.
We're running out of questions.
No, yeah, we're getting to the joke portion of the question.
I mean, Wario got his game. When does Waluigi get his game?
Never.
You know what? No, let me say that. Let me be fair. The Wario game on the original Game Boy was okay.
Hey, we had Wario on the GameCube.
Yeah,
that was actually
WarioWare was freaking amazing.
So I'll give it a chance.
Just leave Waluigi out.
What kind of game would it be, though?
Here's the question: why hasn't anyone in Dreams yet made Waluigi's own game? If people care enough.
That's
true. That's a great point.
Where is this?
You started it. It's going to happen now.
Okay, everyone go forth, make Waluigi game. I don't know. God. I don't even know what you call it.
No, bad.
Waluigi World.
Wow.
Waluigi World.
Wah.
Yeah. Waluigi RPG. There we go. We're in. All right. Evan, what's the other Discord question?
Continuing the joke theme, which comes first, an official new games Nintendo Direct or a Spawn Wave new office tour?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
I'm still waiting to hear back from the table guy, so we'll see.
Oh, there you go.
The table guy. Are you gonna get like a Joe Rogan table?
Better?
What the hell is that?
Better?
It's more designed for the space that we're going to be working in.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I wanted to build a table. Yes.
What is your realistic timetable for a Spawn Wave Office Direct?
The office probably won't be done for like another 3 weeks at this point.
Then I would say probably a general direct will be first.
Ooh.
Okay, cool.
Oh, really?
The insider info.
Why is this shocking?
You
to
think
people?
there's gonna be a direct before Animal Crossing? Because personally,
Yes.
They're gonna drop another trailer at an end of a general direct for Animal Crossing before release. Absolutely, that's a foolish omission not to take advantage of that.
People are even talking about it. All right, every week you're going to see people say, "This is the week." All right, so Nate's
it's only
just
going
trying
on
to.
for 8.
that's been every week though.
know.
Everybody's been saying that.
But the Animal Crossing Direct is now out of the way.
Which is why MVG and I discussed this. The obsession with the Nintendo Direct isn't fascinating. It's terrifying. It can be found on Nate the Hate on YouTube for your listening pleasure.
Hey,
As
you never
one
know.
commenter said, I enjoy listening to you two while I'm in the shower.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I didn't read
It
that
calms
comment.
me. I'm sorry.
So question: do you think they're gonna try to like break it up? Do you think they're gonna try to break it up and like see it maybe the first week of March sometime then? Like a week and a half and a week and a half in between? Like, I don't know.
The latest, based on marketing needs, the latest they could host a direct would be March 13th if they had a game planned for the final Friday in April. So if they have a late April release, they have to have a direct by March 13th because you need
by the 13th, yes. Okay.
So if we don't have a direct by the 6th or the 13th of March, then there is unlikely to be a general direct in the month of March.
Yeah,
But
I agree with that.
I don't see Nintendo leaving like April completely vacant of releases. Even if it's just a little like eShop game, they'll have something, I think, in April. So they would have to be a direct in those first 2 weeks of March.
But you don't think they would do something like, you know, a couple shadow drops and like wait a little bit to have a direct and then do a couple shadow drops? If that makes sense. Like, since we've been waiting so long, wouldn't that be a little bit sweeter?
Maybe they'll just shadow
It
drop.
would be sweeter, but I think we're kind of at that point where they have to start talking about, like, let's say Xenoblade comes out at the end of May. I don't see them waiting till April to date that game.
Yeah, that's true. No,
Okay.
you're lucky Sean's not here. You know what he'd be saying.
What if they shadow drop the direct?
Oh, there you go. They just
They
drop
could
it.
do that. They do like
Direct's
to
in
do that
5
with
minutes.
direct minis.
Yeah,
Direct
That's
minis they just dropped like the morning of, and people are like, what the hell?
could be. Well, I mean, in the next couple weeks, then just look out for some sort of general direct. There you go. Maybe they'll shadow drop Crisis in it. CryEngine's already there.
The trilogy, all of it.
There you go. Everything.
Wow, EA would increase their support like 300%.
They'll do something weird. They'll just bring over Crisis 2 and that's it. It'll be some weird thing. We have any other Discord questions, Evan?
And the last of the joke ones. How plausible is it that Nintendo drops a good majority of their 2020 games for the end of the year to make buying a next-gen console a harder decision?
I mean, they'll have some kind of big holiday game.
Yeah,
something really
this guy's
big.
wondering if they're just going to pack it in at the end of the
they're
year.
just gonna like just blast like 4 games in like 2 months.
That'd be
or
hard to
something.
do. What would they be able to drop?
I don't know. They did that last year with August and September. They're like, we didn't release the game for like 3 months. Now you're going to have Astral Chain, Dragon Quest, Daemon
Fire
X
Emblem.
Machina, Fire Emblem. We're just going to release every game we should have been releasing in a 3
Luigi's
weeks.
Mansion. What?
Luigi's Mansion 2, yeah.
Yeah,
all the
Nintendo
way
went
on.
crazy in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of always do that though. I mean, wasn't like it's kind of the
Their
most of the
year
time, but-
starts late anyway, so
Yeah, they start. Things start getting a bit more like.
I mean,
interesting.
March,
around
April.
They'll release their
June.
games, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, people who are like, it's tough to go up against a new console and be like, these games are going to make these people not buy new consoles. No, we're still going to buy a PS5 and an Xbox Series. It's a new console, you know, like, so Nintendo just, you know, do their thing with their games, and Microsoft and I'm sure Sony will sell out of their systems day one like they usually do. they'll
Right,
announce
and
some sort of number, like first 24 hours we sold 1 million units or something already.
And that's the other thing. Launch is already supply constrictive, so it's not like there's going to be 25 million PlayStation 5 sitting on shelves. They're going to ship their 3-4 million worldwide, so it's Nintendo doesn't really have to counter that with anything. They can counter it with a price drop if they really wanted to sell some units.
I mean, they'll have the Switch Lite anyway at 200. So
yeah, I mean, Nintendo's still going to outsell the PS5 and the Series X this year, anyways. Like even in that holiday span.
Well, if it's MPD's tracked with dollar sales.
Yeah, so if they come out at $500,
yeah, it's not.
Nintendo would have to sell 2 units. To
it's not
counterbalance one.
I don't know if that would happen then.
Yeah.
Definitely not November. Well, not November, because November they'll sell all of them, like the first 24 hours.
Unless their debut shipment is like 250,000.
No, I guess it could be.
Could be.
We'll see. We'll see with that one. Should be interesting though when they come out. Those are all the Discord questions.
That is it.
Very cool. Very cool. Let me finish up with these last super chats here. We have Toshi says, I pre-purchased Under Night Collector's Edition for Switch at Best Buy, but they didn't get my copy. Have to wait till next week, so I bought it digitally. Wow. So you're gonna have a digital copy, and hey, you can leave the collector's edition sealed then. There you go. Integer says, Spawn video idea, Switch battery and a Switch Lite for mega battery life. You should be paying me. I wonder if that would, I don't think that, they don't have the same connector. I know that. At least not, and you could probably change connectors around and make it fit. Maybe an idea. Christian says, hello to my number 1 and number 2. Hi, OJ. Hi, Miss Click.
Aw.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
What's up, Christian? He's the homie.
I can hear MVG in the background. What about me?
Yeah. I'm the afterthought.
We all are, MVG.
Christian knows me. He didn't share no love for me, so I understand Christian. I'm playing.
Thanks, Christian.
Cody says, turns out nobody won the Daytona 500 this year.
I know there's the accident and everything, right?
There was a super chat last week about who was going to win, and I think this is the follow-up.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Someone said like a car was going to win.
Yeah. That Dan guy says, I found the Switch version of Starlink starter pack at Target Australia for $15. Will it be worth anything in, say, 10 years' time? Probably not, because they were trying to get rid of those things for $5, and people were just walking right by it. The game is worth opening and playing, though. So...
Yeah,
Best Buy was like handing them to you when you walked in. That
game's achieved.
Best Buy, here's Starlink.
Yeah, that game's achieved hypersaturation, so value probably won't go up.
I honestly would say probably the R-Wing would end up being worth more than the game.
Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people I think bought it for. Was just the R-Wing.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, even at like $7, the R-Wing's cool enough to just buy just to have it. So.
Yes, because it would easily be upcharged. If it was sold for anything else, like as a figure by itself.
Yeah,
easily could upmarket. Yeah,
they miscalculated how many people were gonna buy that.
I was one of them.
It should have been an exclusive. I know we say this all the time. It should have been.
It shouldn't have been toy based.
Yeah, the Toys to Life thing I think is just like it's run its course.
It should have just been like a collector's edition. Hey, here's the collector's edition. You get the R-Wing, but it really should have just been a regular. That to me, I could not explain to people like, oh well. What do you do to I was like, okay, well, you can buy the collector's edition, but it doesn't even come with all the stuff. Like that was the biggest. It's like, wait a minute, I spent $70-something and it doesn't even come with all of the all of the extra stuff. Like that was just a horrible decision by Ubisoft. I don't know what they didn't think that.
I think they tried to bring a revival back with that movement, and it just didn't land. So I think they learned. They're super cool people, but it was unfortunate.
The game's solid game too.
Yeah,
so you'll have fun with it.
Shinru says, good evening all. Hope all is well. Does anyone think cloud gaming is going to be the normal way to play games in the future? I don't mind if it's affordable and brings games from all generations.
Eventually, but yeah.
That seems, man, all these publishers really want that to be a thing. Like cloud gaming.
It's full control from their end, yeah.
It is. Exactly. It is full control. Yeah, and they don't have to pay retailers any kind of
no middleman, yeah.
And no used games, so
No system. That's the big thing. I bet they're like, you don't have to buy a $500 system. None of that. You just click the game, you buy it, and you go. So just because everyone who's controlling games right now seems to want that to be a thing, like publishers like Ubisoft and EA and all these big. Yeah, I mean it's will probably happen eventually. Christians. Oh wait, just read that one. Then we have Malice says, does Switch Lite still have Joy-Con drift? Some people have shown that it does, but I haven't seen any. Like I haven't seen a ton of people yet, but some have shown that it does happen. It is still technically the same stick, so it could happen. Brad Barksdale says, do you think there will be more Sonic Sega Ages games? The port of 2 is really good, better than the Year of Sonic announcement from this week. What was the announcement this week?
You gave me crap last week for not knowing there even was a Year of Sonic. You don't even remember what the announcement was.
No,
week?
I don't think there was an announcement. That's the thing. I don't think there was an announcement because
Sega already screwed up their Year of Sonic on the first month.
Dude, if there was, it was so small. Like it was not like no one reported on it then almost then.
Year of Sonic.
Yeah, like I keep an eye on that as I was like, oh, it's the 20th, it's coming up, something's gonna happen, and I don't remember seeing much of anything. Sega even sent me a press release for the original announcement of the Year of Sonic, and there was like wallpapers. I was like, okay.
The movie was cool. Does that count?
The announcements related to the post credits. That's what it actually was. We're making another.
I mean, that was.
Is that true? Is that really the announcement?
I mean, it wasn't a good announcement if there was one. Okay, so much so that no one was talking about it. So
wait, hold on. I had a question because I was gone. Is it just Sonic at the Olympic Games? Is that literally a thing?
Yeah, that's because they couldn't put Mario in if they wanted to put it on the PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
And Sonic 3 is the same thing. They can't release Sonic 3 as well, like on Sega Ages if they wanted to do that.
That's like because the music and stuff.
The Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's why you get it as it's going to be a Tiger handheld though.
Yes, the Tiger Electronics Sonic 3 is coming out this autumn for $50.
How did that come from the dead?
Tech wave coming.
Those things were awesome. Tiger Electronics handhelds. You got Double Dragon.
I had a Double Dragon one.
I think that was a Ninja Gaiden.
I had an Aladdin one. I remember that.
I had a Ninja Gaiden one.
My dad would go. One of the few things he did, but my dad would go and grab a lot of those for us. Like when I was younger, like those Tiger Electronics things, but they were always crap. Like I thought they were crap. I just played them just because.
I feel like people are gonna, because that's what we had. If you didn't have a Game Boy, you got to pretend, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, this isn't so bad, and you're like,
yeah, it was a really ghetto version of like the game.
First of all, see, I had the first Tiger Electronic I had was Simon's Quest Castlevania, but nothing was worse than the R Zone. Who remembers R Zone?
I had ours. Yeah.
I remember that. R-Zone,
the fake Dragon Ball Z Scouter thing you had to play video games on.
That was terrible.
It really was.
Did you play the Ninja Gaiden Tiger handheld? Who played the Ninja Gaiden one? I was like,
I didn't play that.
The NES version, I was like, dude, just get me off. Give me the NES game.
Lou said, Lou's got an idea. How about Sonic and Smash? Sega would really benefit from this.
Gotta go.
Who's
fast.
gonna let me know?
We have Frederick says, do you think EA will ever put Madden on Switch?
No.
Oh man. Some nobody says Nintendo can put their hands on them, motivate them.
What?
I read the super chat. I don't know. Knox says, why do you guys think that Dreams is successful but not Project Spark?
Because I've never heard of Project Spark.
I was gonna say Project
Come on. It had that creepy ass Conquer thing in the trailer.
Oh, that thing.
That was Microsoft.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
think social media has a lot to do with it right now for Dreams. Because everyone's just sharing some really cool stuff, but people's willingness to actually make stuff that's really, really good that's actually being shared online. That's all I can really say.
That was the same time when Microsoft were trying to push that HoloLens and they had the Minecraft thing.
That was a time in Microsoft's life where they were trying to do a ton of projects all shittily and like nothing was happening.
They were trying to bring all this tech into gaming and none of it really succeeded.
And I'd also add that Project Spark came out a year after. I think Xbox was still recovering from that disaster that they had.
Oh,
in 2013.
Yeah.
Project Spark was 2014 at the end of that. So they were still recovering from that. Dreams is a game. It's the very end. There's 100 million PS4s, or there's tons of PS4s out there. So it's got more people just to buy the game in general.
Swag
Although
says,
Spark is on PC too, so it's on PC, but you know.
Swag says Waluigi game would probably be a reskin of Grand Theft Auto.
Wow.
That would be pretty funny.
Wow.
Wasted.
Cedric says Pac-Man is a heavily underrated Smash character. Is this true, OJ?
Yes,
Okay.
he is very underrated. He's actually, I would say he's a top 15 character, and many people don't see him that way. I
agree.
He's very, very, very good. And like the amount that he went up from Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate is crazy. But Pac-Man is very good, and I don't like fighting against Pac-Man.
He's annoying. Yeah.
He's very, very annoying.
His grabs are good. He has a really good nair. It's like he's really good. I used to use him a little bit.
I feel like he's invincible on a lot of his moves too.
He doesn't have any invincibility on any of his moves, but he has a lot of disjointed hitboxes. So things that kind of hit you when you're not supposed to. He has things like that little thing that loops around. He has stuff that goes fast, goes slow. He has a key that throws it. It'll pretty much, if you're at higher percentage, it's going to kill you. He has the fire hydrant that shoots water, so it can just mess with things.
It's good CC, yeah.
Yeah,
he could freeze you in place.
Yeah, he hits you with that little electric thingy. Yeah, he's just. Yeah, it's just like disjointed hitboxes, really weird, very awkward. But he's very fun to watch, though. When somebody's really good with him, it's very fun to watch.
You know why? It's because he's just running around kicking your butt, and he's just like, ha ha, just smiling the entire time.
He's so happy.
And he's like, stop. I'm just so embarrassed right now.
He's so happy when he kicks your ass.
My go-to for beating him is Game & Watch. I just like using Game & Watch against him. It's so much fun.
Oh, okay.
Aaron says if they brought back G4, Spawnwave should be a show along with MVG and his history of hack breakdowns.
Let's do it.
All right, there we go.
Let's go.
Get G4 back. Ed Diaz says, wow, no Jordan. Hopefully he's back next week. Jordan is doing some editing, I believe, now, so he'll be back next week. And then Vanessa says, you are the best MVG.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Melvin says, do you think GeForce Now games will come back, or are they gone forever? Talking about the Bethesda even pulled some games today as well. Activision pulled games, Bethesda pulled games. I think they want to negotiate some deals, which is weird because it's a streaming service for games you already own. So they probably want some money out of NVIDIA, which is weird. But that's next. We talked about console wars. Next war is going to be the streaming wars. Is absolutely going to be a thing.
Count me out.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a thing.
My CRT and my Super NES.
There you go.
Count me out. We got enough games to play. If it ever goes all streaming, have fun.
Oh man, what? This is tough. Zaire Miller says, "Ask what studio do you think THQ Nordic will buy next?" That's what? Because I did not expect them to buy Saber Interactive. That was surprising.
Can I ask you guys a question with that? Do you guys think, this is just me being Nintendo fan, I guess, do you guys think that they bought them so they can actually have more competent ports of some of their other bigger games?
That's what I kind of thought that would be a thing, because Saber has been very good recently at porting games to the Switch. They've built up a lot of experience, and I'd mentioned it's better, I think anyway, if you have somebody in-house to do that, a studio in-house, rather than go out to Panic Button or Iron Galaxy or something, because you have to pay them. But if you could have them work more alongside of your other studios that are working on a big game, that makes sense.
A lot.
No, that's a lot of money to spend just on a port house when you could have contracted them for significantly less.
But you saw the contract, right?
It's 150 million guaranteed.
Yes, and then the rest is earned through
as much as Sony basically bought. They bought Insomniac for 225 straight up. Yeah, Saber to be a port studio for 150 doesn't.
Well, they'll do more. Yeah, they'll do more. They had more people than I thought they did. Employee wise, they had a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've been doing a lot of projects recently, so that would make sense why their workforce is so big. But I think they're going to do other things, but they are competent with Switch ports, and THQ keeps looking at the Switch quite a bit. So I think it was a move just going into next generation to have just another studio, more workforce. So I don't. Who would they buy next though? That's good because that was a lot to spend on. But they said they're not done yet.
A good acquisition is if they fully bought or partnered with Crytek entirely. Because Crytek is still...
Crytek wouldn't be that much then, right?
They own a lot of IP.
I thought they sold some of their IPs too.
They sold
some, didn't they?
some.
They sold some to THQ Nordic, didn't they?
They sold Time Splitters.
That's what it was. Yeah. Just outright buy it. Just pick them up then going forward because they're good obviously with their engine technology.
Yeah. Crytek can make engines for them. They still have what the hell is that game that launched on the Xbox One?
Recently?
It was their launch game. It was Crytek's Xbox One. Yeah, Rise. They still own that IP. That's the only reason Microsoft hasn't had a sequel because Crytek says we'll make it, and Microsoft's like, no, you're not. So,
yeah, that's a good pickup, Nate. Actually, that's a good idea to bring them in.
I think Crytek would be an interesting acquisition.
Can they buy Atlus, please? Can anybody buy Atlus from Sega?
Real quick, we have a couple more here before we finish up. Shinru asks, what your most desired sequel or remake? Mine is a Dead Space reboot.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I mean, a remake, you could do Chrono Trigger. There you go. Get the big time budget behind Chrono Trigger and push it. Sequel, though, Skate 4. Skate 4, yes.
Did it episode 1. We're still doing it. Let's go.
We're still doing it. Oh, man. 2020 is the year of Skate 4. Hey, 2 skateboarding games coming out this year. Skater XL and Session. So there you go.
When's Skatebird coming out?
That's
coming out this year too. That's out this year.
Skatebird.
You can go play the demo. You can go play the demo now on their Kickstarter.
Oh,
you can download for your PC and try it out. Yeah, there you go. That's coming out this year. I think that was first half of this year. Yes, that'll be actually 3 skateboarding games then. Maybe 4 if Skate 4 comes back. And then Hayabusa says Waluigi game equals Sly Cooper or Untitled Goose Clone. Sly Cooper would be a good one. That could work, like a clone like that. That would work. With Waluigi stealing a bunch of cool stuff, that'd be fun. Hold on, Pice. I think that's gonna do it though for tonight. Thanks for everyone joining us. Let's go to our guest, Avedon. Where can they find you, man?
You guys can find me over at YouTube and Twitter.com/AvedonSmith, or you can find me on the second channel, Beats for Breakfast. And yeah, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What about MVG? Where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G, YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer, and cool video coming out on Monday. So if you like the channel, check that out. Thanks for having me on.
Miss Click, what about you?
Thanks for having me on again. It's good to be back. It's like my new year, so I'm pretty excited. You can find me here on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming, or I am pretty much... My main thing right now is every day on Twitch, and you can find me at twitch.tv/missclick_live. Other than that, all my other social is on missclickgaming.com.
And then what about OJ?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube when I'm not banned.
Or Twitter.
I'm not copyright striked or banned. You can find me on YouTube Player Essence. Got some cool stuff coming up for this week. Xenoblade, more stuff on that. I've got a really cool video that I'm working on for that. Also some stuff with Bayonetta as well. I always do a lot of discussion videos on the channel, and I stream every single day too, where I just kind of chat with you guys and everything. We just talk about stuff. New deodorant. I got some new deodorant that doesn't leave white marks, so I talked about that this week. So you can find me there, and we're doing a giveaway too. Switch Lite, Switch Lite giveaway. And Fighters Pass. So if you want to switch Light or Fighters Pass, I got a giveaway that we're doing. So check that out.
You made a video about your deodorant?
Well, it was a live stream where I talked about the new deodorant. There's a brand new deodorant that came out.
I saw that when Doc Trey said that.
Yeah, it's a brand new. It's called. It's like the Fresh Guard Degree, and it doesn't leave white marks and it doesn't leave stains. So I put it to the test for the past couple days, and it's working pretty well. I'll be honest. And this is a thing for streamers. How many times have you seen a streamer? They raise their hand, all of a sudden it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just a pit right there. So I mean, it's something that.
Why are you looking at their armpits, you weirdos?
Well, they're streaming, and I see it when they lift up. You see it. So I wanted to.
I know why you said
people.
That.
Everybody, everybody has their things.
All right.
So,
what was it? What's the deodorant called? It's Degree.
Yeah, it's called. Do I still have it here?
Oh,
No, I put it back in my bathroom. No, it's called Degree. It's like a white and black. It has like I think it has like a black cap, and it's like no white stains, no yellow marks, and it's a nice. It's pretty good. It's good on
you're not manly enough. If you don't have white stains.
Dude, look, man, nobody likes that. Women don't like it. My wife, when I went, to go see her, this is the main reason why this is even happening. She really complained about that, man. She saw my shirt, she was like petrified. Like, almost called off the marriage because of that, bro.
She almost second guessed it.
Yeah.
What about Nate? Where can they find you, man?
Find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames. You can find me on my second channel at Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2. Have a video up there talking about the Nintendo Direct. Also have another video coming soon in which NVG and I will discuss the coronavirus and the potential impacts it will have on the video game industry, like PS5 delay. And next week for gameplay, I will have undocked direct feed footage of both Metro games up on it's either Tuesday or Thursday. I'm not sure when the embargo lifts.
Oh, okay.
And maybe I'll do a little more Bloodbreed so people can buy that excellent weird ass game.
Okay. And then what about Evan?
You can find me on Twitter. Kimmerix Project should be in the links below. Whenever I'm doing anything, streaming, conventions, I'm going to be hitting up stuff like that. I'll usually announce it there.
Cool. That'll work. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight for episode 151. We'll be back next weekend. Hopefully with Platinum's going to have something this week, and maybe a direct, maybe not. We'll see. This is the week. It's finally the week, right?
Maybe.
We'll see you guys next
week
week.
of PAX East.
Bye.